Welcome back to Only Talk Sports, and tonight we have the 2023 NBA Playoffs Western Conference first round game 4 live reaction and watch party. I'm so glad that this game has finally been able to come on TV. You had the other game that definitely deserved to finish its way through before the next game came out. What a win for the Miami Heat. What a game for Jimmy Butler. That was a fantastic performance. He had like 56 points, and he now has the Miami Heat with a 3-0 lead over the Bucks, and Giannis played as well, and Brook Lopez at like 36 points. So that is crazy there overall. Unbelievable what we just saw in Miami with the Heat winning that game, and now they're up 3-1. But now we finally have the Memphis Grizzlies and the Los Angeles Lakers, and Memphis is starting out a little bit better. They're up 8-4 right now over the Lakers. Memphis only had 9 points in the first quarter in the last game, which was insane. That was an awful first quarter for the Memphis Grizzlies, only having 9 points in that first quarter in game 3. But now we're in game 4. They're down 2-1 in this series. Memphis really needs this win if they want to tie the series up, and it will be 2-2. But right now it's 8-4. Memphis is down by 4 points, and John Morant into the lane, and John Morant is looking really good early. It is 10-4 Memphis over Los Angeles. 7:30 to go in the first quarter. So the Grizzlies are already past what they had in the first quarter in the last game. LeBron James in the corner to Vanderbilt, and he knocks down the three. It's 10-7. Memphis's lead is down to 3. But definitely some more offense from Memphis is a good sign if you are a Grizzlies fan. And for the Lakers, they're trying to settle into this game. Some fairly good defense from Memphis, but also just missing some shots. Dylan Brooks, he's back from the flagrant 2 foul that he got on LeBron James. He did not have to have a suspension. I agree with that. I don't think it was too excessive for a suspension, but definitely Dylan Brooks needs to do a better job to not get any fouls called against him. You don't want to do anything that's going to get you in trouble. But there is 7:13 to go in this first quarter, and it is 10-7 Memphis Grizzlies. John Morant, he has the basketball being guarded by Jared Vanderbilt. What is John Morant going to do? He is one of the craziest athletes in the NBA with what he is able to do with the basketball. He swings it over to Dylan Brooks, and Dylan Brooks is not able to hit the three. 6:50 to go in the first quarter. LeBron James down the lane. LeBron James kicks over to Austin Reeves. Reeves for 2, and his shot is money. 10-9. Memphis is up by 1 point. 6:46 to go in the first quarter, and I think we have our first TV timeouts really quick since we did not get to start right at the tip. I really appreciate all you guys for being here so far. We should have a great game. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully Memphis will play some better basketball, so we will have a competitive game down the stretch, and who knows who's going to be able to win, but hopefully this will be a great game and a great rest of this series. But still, unbelievable what happened earlier tonight with Jimmy Butler and his 56 points to be able to beat the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis. That was an incredible performance by Jimmy Butler. They nicknamed him Jimmy Buckets, and it is an accurate description, especially the way he played tonight overall against the Bucks. And Jimmy Butler has the most points ever scored in a playoff game for the Miami Heat. LeBron James played there. You know, you also had Dwayne Wade. There's so many players that play for the Miami Heat, and the fact Jimmy Butler leads them all with 56 points in a playoff game, that is incredible. And I think the most points he's ever scored in a game in his career at the age of 33. He is definitely doing some incredible things right now for Miami. And they had a tough loss, losing, unfortunately, Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo to potential season-ending injury, especially with Victor Oladipo. But I think Hero, he's probably going to be out for the rest of the season as well, even if Miami advances. So that's really unfortunate as well. But Jimmy Butler and the teammates that he has did everything they could to win tonight, even though it was definitely led by Jimmy Butler. If he did not have the performance he had, they would not have had any chance at all. But you did get some big shots by Caleb Martin down the stretch. Bam Adebayo and Cody Zeller, and Kevin Love, they tried to stop Giannis and Brook Lopez down low, but they were really struggling overall in that regard. But regardless, you did have Miami getting the win behind Jimmy Butler's 56 points. That was a fantastic game, and I really hope this game right here is also just as good. It should be a lot of fun. We have Jeff here. Appreciate it so much. Thanks for being here. He says, I'm here and ready to go. Looking forward to this game. Memphis is already doing a better job than they did in game 3. They got 10 points. They only had 9 in the first quarter last time, so Memphis already improving in this game out of the gate. Los Angeles had some sloppy start with turnovers, but they're starting to play a little bit better. So we'll see if the Lakers can get going. Jackson Johnson, thanks for being here. He says, I hope the Grizzlies win tonight, but if it doesn't happen tonight, then Memphis is in big, big trouble. 100%. Because of the fact that they'll be down 3-1, and even though they will have, the series going back to their place, they're going to have to be able to turn the ship around really quickly, or they will not win the series, and they'll have to win a game at the Lakers in that scenario if they're not able to win this game here, which they need to win a game on the road. So it's going to be very interesting for sure. I really think that Memphis is a team that is still capable of winning the series. I know John Morant missed a game, but he is back now, and he is playing some solid basketball. We thought he wasn't playing well in the last game, and he had 45 points. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for Memphis to get the win. Jimmy Butler had to have 56 for Miami to get over the top. So when your teammates aren't doing that well, sometimes your best players got to go out there and score 50, 60 points. But Ja, he had 45, but it definitely was not enough. But Memphis is doing a little bit better to start this game, so they'll have to continue to do that for sure. And they are showing John Morant. He is still struggling with his hand, but he is going out there and trying to play at a high level, so you got to give him credit there. Jada, thanks for being here, says Jeff. Jimmy Butler, cannon in the house. I still can't believe Jimmy Butler. That was an epitome of Jimmy Buckets. A performance like that, what a performance. What a win for the Miami Heat. But really appreciate you for being here. He says, too bad you did not do that game. I agree. That game was awesome. It definitely, in hindsight, would have been a great game to do. But hopefully this game is really good as well. But I thank you so much for being here. 10-9, and Memphis turns the basketball over. Los Angeles has it, and Reeves is fouled. I don't think either team is in the bonus as of now. But still, you do not want to pick up a lot of fouls early. 22 consecutive points score last 25 playoffs. You've had Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, and now John Morant. He had 22 points scored in that fourth quarter in a row for the Memphis Grizzlies, but it was not enough for Memphis to come back. He was on a roll late in that game. He was really trying to bring Memphis back in that game, but it just was not enough. But it's 10-9. Memphis over Los Angeles. 6:20 to go in the first quarter. Reeves with the ball for the Lakers, going off a ball screen. He swings over to Jared Vanderbilt in the corner, and Jared Vanderbilt knocks down the corner three. 12-10, Lakers over Grizzlies. 6 to go in the first. And Jared Vanderbilt has 10 points for the Lakers out of the 12. Unbelievable there. And then John Morant on the other end. He responds with a three of his own. 13-12, 5:50 to go in the first quarter. We've got a back and forth game early. Morant with 5 points, and definitely this game has a much better look and feel to it than game 3. Austin Reeves with the ball into the lane. He takes a floater, and it's good. Still, Austin Reeves, a great underrated player there, and a nice shot by him. 14-13. Now Desmond Bane with the handoff from Dillon Brooks, and Desmond Bane for 2. And it seems like the Grizzlies' other players are starting to get involved more, not having it all on John Morant. That is a great sign for sure. 5:20 to go in the first quarter. Austin Reeves, Lakers down by 1. Whoa, that was an insane pass right there. He tried to get it to Vanderbilt, but it did not work. Desmond Bane on the other end, his three is off the mark. Anthony Davis tried to get the rebound, but I do think that they call a foul on Dillon Brooks. But that was insane. Austin Reeves tried to get that ball to Jared Vanderbilt, and it did not work. That was a denial in the post, not allowing that pass to go inside. Really good defense overall by the Memphis Grizzlies. Their intensity level seems to be a lot higher than it was in game 3, and that is where it needs to be with them being down 2-1. And they're the 2 seed after all. The Lakers are the 7 seed. I know injuries played a role, but Memphis really needs to show out tonight. And Dillon Brooks with 2 fouls for Memphis already. That is a bad sign for Memphis. You do not need foul trouble this early in the game. 4:50 to go in the first quarter. Anthony Davis is on the right block being guarded by Xavier Tillman, and there's a turnover. Good defense from Memphis. Now you've got John Morant. He's dancing around in the lane. John Morant with a pull-up too. His shot is way off, and Santi Aldama could not get the board. Now Jared Vanderbilt down the floor. Jared Vanderbilt in the lane. He kicks back out to Rui Hachimura, who's just been inserted into the game for the Lakers. Now Austin Reeves has the basketball, kicks to Vanderbilt in the corner, and Vanderbilt's 3 is in and out this time. Exact same look that he had earlier in this first quarter that he was able to knock down. He could not make it this time. But it's 15-14, Memphis over Los Angeles. 1-point lead for the Grizzlies. 4:28 to go in the first quarter, and it will be Memphis basketball. I think they did call a foul on the Lakers, or maybe the ball's out of bounds. I think they did call a foul on Anthony Davis, or maybe he bumps Santi Aldama a bit. And Anthony Davis with 2 fouls. And they're leaving him in the game, but you do not want Anthony Davis picking up a 3rd foul if you are a Laker fan. It is in the first quarter. It's not a time to be picking up fouls. But David Roddy on the other end for Memphis drains a 3, and it is 18-14. What a shot by David Roddy. Rui Hachimura on the other end for the Lakers. He's driving into the lane, and he is not able to get that shot to fall, but there might have been a foul. 4:02 to go in the first quarter. I think there might have been a foul in the lane, and the Lakers will have a couple free throws here. So definitely a lot of contact between these two teams. There's been a lot of contact in these playoffs. For sure, you want to see, both teams playing really hard. You want to see the physicality, but you don't want to see anything get out of hand. We have not seen that so far in this game, so that's a good sign. Anthony Davis's first free throw is good. 18-15. Anthony Davis is one of the best taller players in the NBA, centers, fours that are able to hit free throws at a high level. He's a great free throw shooter. Kind of like Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant probably is a little bit better. But Anthony Davis, his second free throw is up as well, and it is good. 18-16, Lakers are down by 2. But again, the start for Memphis is key. They're not having a bad start like they did in Game 3. They're going out there and playing much better basketball in this game, which will go a long way for their chances to be able to win this game as a whole and potentially save their chances in this series. John Morant kicks to Xavier Tillman in the corner, and Xavier Tillman's 3 cannot go in. It did not fall. Anthony Davis with the board, kicks to D'Angelo Russell. Russell in the lane, Russell up strong. What a shot by D'Angelo Russell. That was a great shot, and it's still proving why the trade was really good for the Lakers to get him during the middle of this season. That was a fantastic layup. And then Memphis on the other end misses a 3. The tide is starting to turn a bit. D'Angelo Russell into the lane again. Kicks to Rui Hachimura for 2, and it's good again. Lakers score 20-18, and the Lakers are starting to find their footing in this game. 3 to go in the first quarter. Memphis needs a response. You definitely don't want to give the Lakers crowd and team a lot of momentum. Xavier Tillman with the ball. He tries to make a move, but he loses it, but does swing it to Morant. When he gets the ball back, Morant's 3 is off the mark. Xavier Tillman saves it to Luke Kennard. Kennard for 3, and Kennard knocks down the shot, and that's why the Grizzlies got him. They're not the best three-point shooting team in the West, and they got Luke Kennard from out West in the Clippers. Really good addition there during the trade deadline. And Schroeder, he draws a foul on John Morant. John Morant does not like that foul call, but he did get the side-to-side swipe that they have been calling now in the NBA when you don't allow a player to turn the ball around. So it's 2:37 to go in the first quarter, and it's 21-20 Memphis Grizzlies over the Los Angeles Lakers, and we seem to have a ball game. Definitely a lot better than we saw in Game 3. But we have Edward Go Tigers. He said sad on Jimmy, teammates are below average. His body's going to be exhausted tomorrow, but I really appreciate you for being here, Edward, and I completely agree with you. I think that the teammates aren't, awful or anything. You look at Kyle Lowry, he's just up in age. He's a lot older than he was, and he's not as good as he was with the Raptors, but he's still a solid player. Tyler Hero got hurt, unfortunately. He broke his hand, and then Victor Oladipo got hurt the other night with his knee yet again. So unfortunate for him. But if both those players were available, it definitely would help. Looking at the Heat's chances to be able to win the series and beyond. They could win the series based on the way Jimmy Butler's playing, but to potentially go farther, I think that they would definitely need Hero and Oladipo. But then you look at Bam Adebayo, solid center, but he's a lot shorter than and not able to bang around as much with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Brook Lopez. That's tough as well. I think they have a solid team. I just don't think they have a team that's really built to win the whole thing, and I just don't think they have a team that's going to be able to beat the Bucks unless they're getting these performances from Jimmy Butler. So even though they're up 3-1, they can still lose a series if Jimmy Butler doesn't have another big performance. But who knows? I do think that overall, Jimmy Butler's doing a fantastic job, and he is giving them life, and he is giving them hope that the Heat can win the series. And it has hurt Milwaukee that they haven't had Giannis for a couple games, but it will be interesting to see what happens. But like you said, Jimmy Butler, he is going to be exhausted for sure. Jackson Johnson says if the Grizzlies lose the series, Coach Jenkins could be on the hot seat, but not as bad as Bucks head coach Budenholzer with the Heat getting out of the belt and beating the Bucks. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't think really you can say that the Grizzlies or the Bucks are really in any way, shape, or form, their head coaches are going to get fired or on the hot seat as of this time. I know that we're in a society now with the NBA and all these other, NBA, NFL, college sports where if you don't win, you get fired. I mean, you're seeing increasingly than ever before, coaches are getting fired after like 2 or 3 seasons of not winning, and they're not even able to build a team, which is why a lot of teams stay mediocre because they find out they can't get that continuity together with the coach and the players, and they finally start to win. I think that sometimes coaches need more time. But I don't think either of these coaches should be on the hot seat because you look where these teams are at. The Grizzlies were a 2 seed. The Bucks were a 1 seed. I agree with your point, though. To underperform like this would be a bad look. But it would take a little bit more for both coaches to be on the hot, especially, I would say, the Bucks coach because they've already won an NBA title. I know that you look at Nick Nurse, and he got fired, which is unbelievable. I still can't believe Raptors head coach Nick Nurse got fired, but they won it 4 years ago with Kawhi Leonard and all those players. But it's really interesting overall. I think that both are safe, but to your point, it will put Coach Jenkins of the Grizzlies in a little bit of a murky situation that he needs to start to have success. But unfortunately, he's got a player in John Morant that's always getting injured, and then their teammates are a bit inconsistent overall. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens overall. Nana, she says, watching the game tonight, really appreciate you for being here. I really appreciate it so much. I've got a great game here, and now it's going to be so much more fun knowing you're watching. I really appreciate it so much. Thanks for watching. But, man, this is going to be a fantastic game. Hopefully Memphis and the Lakers goes down to the wire. Memphis really needs this win over the Lakers to help their chances to win the series, but I really appreciate you for watching tonight. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Edward says, I doubt Coach Buzz on the hot seat. Giannis was not playing in first game. Jimmy had the best game of his life. Agree. There's no way that the Bucks head coach is on the hot seat. There's just no way. And you look at, the Memphis coach, it's a little bit interesting there, but I think he should be okay for now. Schroeder, he hits the first free throw, and his second free throw is up, and he cans the second as well. It's 22-21, 2:30 to go in the first quarter, and now Tyus Jones is into the game for Memphis. He did not have a game 3. He needs to have a better game tonight for Memphis to have a great chance to win, but Memphis is only down by 1. They've got 21 points in this first quarter, which is much better than they had in game 3. Then David Roddy, he misses a shot. He gets it back, misses again, and Memphis had so many great looks at the rim, but could not make the shot. LeBron James down the floor to Beasley. Beasley's 3 is offline and no good. Santi Aldama, he gets the board, swings over to Tyus Jones. Can Tyus Jones get some offense going? Or maybe at least set his teammates up for some shots. Roddy with the ball, swings over to Tyus Jones. Jones trying to initiate some offense, kicks back to Roddy. Inside. Now you've got to Jaren Jackson Jr. He gets the ball stripped and he loses it out of bounds, and they do call it off of Memphis. So it will be Los Angeles Lakers basketball. 22-21. 1:43 to go in the first quarter. We've got a really close game that is going back and forth. And right now, at least Memphis, for their sake, is playing much better than in game 3. But the Lakers are kind of allowing them to hang around. The Lakers have had a few chances to kind of blow this open a bit, but they're not playing their greatest basketball like they did in game 1 or game 3 of the series because they actually had 35 points, overall in that first quarter. They only have 22 right now, so they're not doing as well, and they play better in game 1 as well. I think that the Lakers are playing solid in this first quarter, but they're not having their greatest first quarter ever either. LeBron James is at the line for 2 free throws. Some people talk about how he does struggle at the line, but he still can knock them down at a pretty good rate, and he does hit the first. So it's 23-21. Memphis is now down by 2 points. 1:43 to go in the first. I don't think it's good for Memphis that Dillon Brooks has 2 fouls, but then on the other end, Anthony Davis has 2 fouls for the Lakers, so that's tough as well. LeBron James with 25 points in game 3, and he is having a solid start to this game as well. It's 24-21. Memphis with the basketball down by 3. 1:30 to go in the first quarter. Luke Kennard, he has the ball. Swings over to Tyus Jones. John Morant still on the bench. Tyus Jones driving into the lane. Tyus Jones all the way to the rim, and he knocks down the shot. Very interesting there. That was a very good play, but not great defense by the Lakers. They allowed him to get all the way to the rim. They did try to block it late, but that is very interesting. If Tyus Jones can be able to keep driving into the lane, that would really benefit Memphis and his confidence overall. Schroeder, though, for 2 on the other end, and Memphis is not going to be able to stop that. Schroeder, that is a tough step back, too, and he knocks it down with ease. 26-23, 55 seconds to go in the first quarter. A really good shot by Schroeder. He's a really good NBA journeyman, very solid player. Jaren Jackson cannot hit the three, but Luke Kennard with the offensive rebound. Desmond Bane driving into the lane. Desmond Bane kicks to Tyus Jones for 3, and Tyus Jones cannot make the shot in the corner. Now LeBron James with the Lakers moving up the floor. He has the ball. They're up by 3, and now the Lakers are up by 6. 29-23, and LeBron James, what a 3 from the top of the key. He's got 5 points and 5 rebounds. He makes his first field goal of this game. Jaren Jackson on the other end for Memphis drives in the lane. No foul called. He's looking for a foul, but they do not give it to him. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the Lakers are starting to extend their lead a little bit right at the end of the first quarter. The whole entire crowd is on their feet. LeBron James pulls from deep. His 3 is no good. Kennard with the rebound, and he cannot get the shot off. So that is how the first quarter will end. 29-23. The Memphis Grizzlies, they trail by 6 points. And overall, a much better first quarter for the Memphis Grizzlies, but not as good of a first quarter for the Lakers as they had in Game 3. But they started to play better toward the end of the first quarter, and now they're up by 6. And Memphis is going to have to find a way to settle it down a little bit, because you definitely do not want to fall behind in this game. The more that they fall behind, the harder it will be for them to win this game. Jeff, he says, should be a back-and-forth game. Go Memphis. So he's definitely wanting Memphis to tie this series. A lot of people seem to want that for sure. It would definitely make this series much more interesting, just like when the Warriors barely beat the Sacramento Kings by 1 point at home. And now that series is 2-2, so that could go to a Game 7 in that series. That is a fantastic series as well. But overall, looking at that game, the Kings could have won. If Harrison Barnes hits that 3, they would have had a great chance to win. But now you have De'Aaron Fox. His finger might be hurt. He might not be able to play. He fractured his finger, I think, or at least sprained it. So who knows if he's going to be able to play. So there's been a lot of injuries impacting these playoffs. I think it's been due to the fact of the physicality, the nature of these games, the amount of effort being put into these games. So many, players are doing such a great job of trying to win. These games are doing an awesome job just playing hard. The effort level has been great. It's been awesome in these playoffs, but you don't want players playing so hard that they physically harm themselves. Sometimes injuries just happen. You might not even be playing super hard and you just slip and fall, or something happens. Like one time Kevin Durant got hurt just doing a crossover dribble and he hurt his knee and he was out for 6 months to almost a year. So it is what it is, but sometimes some of these injuries have been because of how hard these players are playing and they're banging on each other, and then that's how they get hurt. So it's definitely going to be interesting for sure. Josh says, check your feed on Quincy, Illinois. How good is he? I've already made a video on that. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I did make a video on that earlier today. Quincy Guerrier, he is a solid player, averaged around 9 points per game. But I think he is a guy that will be a good addition for Illinois basketball. He's kind of one of those players that he's a veteran, and I don't think he's going to come in and be one of those guys that he leads your team in scoring, but he's going to be a good teammate and potentially help the younger guys for Illinois have a better chance to have success. So I think that overall he will be a guy that, does some really good things for, Illinois next season. I think he was from Canada as well, so that's probably why you're bringing him up. I really appreciate you bringing it up, John. I think that he will be a solid addition next year for Illinois basketball, but he had a solid career at Syracuse and Oregon. But I think that definitely Illinois is going to have to get Terrence Shannon and Coleman Hawkins back. They're going to have to lead the team in scoring, and then potentially Quincy Guerrier can be able to be a solid, veteran piece next to them. And if they can mesh that roster together well, then maybe Illinois could be better next season. Jackson Johnson says, I hope I'm wrong about Coach Budenholzer being on the hot seat, but if the Bucks lose Game 5 or 6, then they will wind up losing as a 1 seed 3 times in 5 years. That's bad. That is true. That's a good point, Jackson. That is a good point, but I still don't think necessarily that they're going to be on the hot seat. I mean, Edward said earlier, it has to do with the, the series overall with Giannis getting hurt. I know that they did lose those other times as a 1 seed. But I do think it's tough sometimes, when you're matched up in these, games, you don't know who you're playing. And sometimes the team you're playing is better than their seeding. I think Miami's better than an 8 seed, but they've had a lot of injuries this year and they're hurt right now. But they're playing at a high level at the right time with Jimmy Buckets getting 56 points. And if he can have another big game, Miami can win the series. So I agree with you. It's going to be interesting. But I don't think that Budenholzer should be anywhere near getting fired. 11:50 to go in the second quarter. The second quarter has just started. It's 29-23. Memphis's offense has gone cold. LeBron James at the top of the key. He misses the three. He's a little off now. He's missed his last couple shots. Desmond Bane kicks to Tyus Jones. Now down to Jaren Jackson over Hachimura. And his shot is good. It did not go in, but they called a goaltend on LeBron James. He does not like the call. I think that one could have gone either way, but it looks like maybe it was starting to go down. That is so close, but the refs do call a goaltend. 11:30 to go in the second quarter. Dennis Schroeder, he has the basketball. He's driving into the lane. Thought about taking the pull up too, but he loses it and kind of stumbles back outside, but he drives into the lane again. Now it's outside to Beasley 4-2, and Beasley, his shot is there, and it is put back in by Troy Brown. He missed the shot, but Troy Brown, he gets the follow through, and it's 31-25, 11 to go in the second quarter. Memphis is now down by 6. Tyus Jones kicks to Kennard. He can't make the three. Now LeBron James is going full speed ahead down the floor to Troy Brown, and Troy Brown with the reverse, and that is a great unselfish pass right there by LeBron James. 33-25. Memphis in a little bit of danger, down by 8 points. 10:40 to go in the second. Will Memphis call a timeout? They might need one, but they're still playing on right now. And now Roddy down low. Roddy lays it in. Good play there. 33-27. And there might have been an and one as well, which LeBron James is furious. He does not think that he fouled. But it looks like there was a bit of contact down low. Yeah, he got him on the arm. That's a foul. LeBron James did foul Roddy. I think that he definitely got him on the arm as he was going up, so I do agree on calling that foul. But Roddy, he averaged 7 points and 3 boards in the regular season. Roddy, he hits the free throw for the Memphis Grizzlies. 10:30 to go in the second quarter. It's 33-28. Now Schroeder has the basketball for the Lakers, being guarded by Luke Kennard. Schroeder at the top of the key, drives into the lane. What a pass to Troy Brown to Beasley, and Beasley knocks down the three. 36-28. Lakers are up by 8 over Memphis. 10 to go in the second quarter, and the Lakers are starting to pass the ball at a high level right now. You've got Bane going inside. Good defense from Beasley. But they do call a foul in the putback attempt with Desmond Bane. So I think Memphis will have a couple free throws if they are calling it on the shot. If they call it on the floor, then it won't be. But I do think it was on the shot. So we'll have to see. But the Los Angeles Lakers are playing some great basketball right now. They're playing at a high level. Malik Beasley with 235 three-point shots made this season, 7th most in the NBA. That's wild to have Malik Beasley 7th overall. That's crazy. In three-point shots made, I'm really shocked that Malik Beasley is doing that well this season. That is crazy. Most 3 points made per 36 minutes. He has 4. Damian Lillard, Buddy Hield, Klay Thompson, and Stephon Curry are the only players that are ahead of him. But Desmond Bane, he split the free throw. So he missed the first, but he did hit the second. 10 to go in the second quarter. Reeves with the basketball. He's trying to drive around on Jaren Jackson. He swings over to LeBron James. LeBron James with the basketball, driving into the lane with the step back. He does give the ball to Reeves, and Reeves can't make the shot, and the ball is out of bounds off of the Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies feel like it was off the Lakers, but the refs do call it off of the Grizzlies. So it's 36-29, around 10 to go in the second quarter, and that is close. It could have gone either way, but the referee did call it off of Memphis. Under 10 to go in the second quarter. Lakers ball up by 7 points. The offense is really stalled for Memphis, and they need some stops to be able to get back in this game. Rui Hachimura into the lane. Hachimura is trying to make a move. He takes a step back, too. He's not able to make the shot. Now Tyus Jones up the floor for Memphis. 9:30 to go in the second quarter. Tyus Jones in the mid-range. He thought about taking the shot, but he dribbles it back out. Probably a wise move there. But good defense by Los Angeles denying the post entry. Now Dylan Brooks with the ball to Jaren Jackson. 9:10 to go in the second quarter. Jaren Jackson walked. He shuffled his feet. You got to do a better job of not shuffling your feet. You cannot do that on the right block, especially that far from the rim. You just cannot shuffle your feet. He did not put the ball on the ground, and his feet moved a little bit. So there's 9 to go in the second quarter. The Lakers are still up by 7 points. Schroeder kicks to LeBron. Back to Schroeder. Schroeder in the lane. He goes up strong. He lays it in. What a play by Dennis Schroeder. 38-29, 8:59 to go in the second quarter. And do we have a timeout by Memphis? Or it might just be a TV timeout. I'm not sure, but there is a timeout nonetheless. 38-29, Los Angeles over Memphis, 8:59 to go in the second quarter. Edwards says they lost to the Celtics last year in 7 games without Middleton, and this year didn't have Giannis for 3 games. Great point. I 100% agree with you, Edward, because you think about it. That's not on Budenholzer. You can't help when players are hurt. When players are hurt, that should not be what, your coaching prowess is determined on. If you have a team that loses and it's based off injuries. I understand that a lot of times coaches in the NBA, they get a lot of flack when their team is bad, but a lot of times their team's bad because they have injuries or they just don't have a good team. There's nothing you can do. I mean, you think about the Rockets coach that just got fired. The Rockets coach got fired, and the Rockets don't have a good basketball team. I mean, what is he supposed to do? I mean, Greg Popovich is considered one of the best coaches of all time, but he's losing with the Spurs because they don't have players. I mean, he was really good when he had Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. I don't really think it's fair to talk about a coach's success based off of what your roster is in the NBA, because if you have a bad team, you're not going to win. And if you got a team that is hurt, you're not going to win either. So it's interesting. So I think it is definitely a great point of Edwards for sure. Justice Guerrier will help Illinois. I completely agree. I think that he definitely will assist the roster next year. Justice, what do you think of the CJ Frederick transfer? I made a video on that as well. Ironically, I made a video on both those players today, but CJ Frederick is definitely a player that I think that could help Cincinnati make the transition over to the Big 12. I don't think that they're going to be that good, overall in the Big 12 next season because the Big 12 is such a deep conference. They might be the worst team in the conference next year. But I think CJ Frederick will help. The issue with CJ Frederick is he's been hurt all the time. He had his best season when he was a freshman at Iowa, but he's had a lot of injuries, and that's hurt his career. But if he stays healthy, he could be a solid player for Cincinnati next year. Edwards says Nurse deserved to be fired. He lost that locker room. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where, the people were asking, should the Raptors have blown the whole thing up? Should they have gotten rid of most of their players? Anunoby, traded away Fred VanVleet. I don't know. It's really interesting. And, I mean, Nick Nurse, they won the whole thing, but they did have Kawhi Leonard, and he hit that shot that bounced off the rim like 15 times. I don't know. It's interesting. I just think that the team wasn't really constructed right either. My biggest problem with the Raptors is they don't have enough guards. They got Gary Trent and Fred VanVleet, and then basically the rest of their team is a bunch of wings and centers and stuff. Jakob Poeltl, they've got Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Chris Boucher, Precious Achiuwa. They got way too many wings and centers. They don't have enough guards. And when you're playing a team that goes out with 3 or 4 guards on the floor, how are you supposed to guard that? You really can't because of the fact your team is so long. Yes, their defense is great because they get in the passing lane and get steals. OG Anunoby led the league in steals. OG Anunoby should win, or should at least be on the all-defensive team, but he should, be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. That's how good he's been. OG Anunoby is a fantastic defender. But if you don't have, good guards, you don't have enough guards, and in their instance, they just don't have enough guards, I think that really hurt the roster. I just don't think the roster is constructed that well. Jack says, I don't think either coach should be in the hot seat, but unfortunately one or both coaches will be in the hot seat because of the win attitude, and with the Nick Nurse firing, anything can happen. Completely agree. That, to your point, 100% is what I was saying earlier about the win attitude. Basically, that's just the society we live on. Players want to win, coaches want to win, fan bases want to win, and if you're not winning, then they want to win now. You're 100% correct. It's unfortunate because I think a lot of coaches deserve more time, and a lot of times it's not their fault, but it definitely is what it is. LeBron James, down the floor. Lakers are up by 9 after the turnover by Memphis. Anthony Davis, he misses the shot. No foul on either play, and Anthony Davis fell hard. Hopefully Anthony Davis is okay. He fell on his side really hard, but unfortunately that is the risk you take when you go airborne. LeBron kicked to Anthony Davis. They can't show the whole play because of the fact that Memphis is already down the floor, but Anthony Davis is definitely in a lot of pain, and hopefully he will be able to play. If not, then I definitely think that the Lakers could be in a bit of trouble in this game overall. That will be really tough. He is definitely in a lot of pain. He's still out there on the floor, but he is doubled over in pain. 8:39 to go in the second quarter. It's 38-29, Los Angeles over Memphis. And Anthony Davis is definitely Have to watch out for him. Will he be able to stay in this game for the Lakers? They're showing the play now on the other end where Anthony Davis is still down there. And I think they blew the play dead. I think that's what ended up happening. But we're going to have to see what happens overall right here because Anthony Davis is in a lot of pain. I don't think he's going to be able to continue playing, at least for the time being. He definitely needs to get checked out for sure. He is holding his side, and we have a timeout. Hopefully, Anthony Davis will be okay. But I agree with you, Jackson. It's all about that win now attitude. And with Nick Nurse getting fired, like you said, anything's possible. Now, Go Tiger says Nick Nurse deserved to be fired. He lost the locker room. The Nurse situation is completely different to the Memphis or Milwaukee. The Raptors haven't even been competitive in the playoffs since that title. I agree with you, Edward. I do agree with you. I mean, you are right. But I do think still the roster construction of the team was just poor. I don't think that a lot of it can be blamed on Nurse. Even if you're right, it could be a locker room issue. That probably is what it is. But you have to have, a roster that's built to win. Kawhi Leonard was a guy that was fantastic, and he still is fantastic. And unfortunately, that's why the Clippers are not going to win the series against the Suns because they don't have Paul George or Kawhi Leonard. But he's a do-it-all wing. He can handle like a guard, pull up from anywhere on the floor, get to the rim. You had Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry was great. I think Fred VanVleet was already on that team. I mean, they had better roster construction. Now they just don't. And they don't have an elite player. Pascal Siakam is really close to elite. I would even argue he is. But I don't know. You have to have good roster construction. And that's not what the Raptors have. And that's really unfortunate, with overall Nick Nurse getting fired. And you could be right. It could have definitely just been the locker room, but I do think they needed more guards. And if they had them, then they could have potentially done even better. Like when they got Jakob Poeltl, I was like, Jakob Poeltl's a good player, but why get Jakob Poeltl when you need a guard? You need another, ball handler. I think that definitely would have helped for sure. Edward said they won the time period up that Clay and KD got season-ending injuries. 100% as well. I mean, the Raptors should, in hindsight, should not have won that year. You look at, Kawhi Leonard's big three in the corner. You look at all the injuries. I mean, just because they shouldn't have won it doesn't mean they didn't win it. They did win it, and they deserved to win it. They won. But I will say 100% that luck happens. Sometimes players getting hurt helps another team be able to win. And sometimes you do just enough, like the shot with Kawhi Leonard. It rolled in after a bunch of bounces. I mean, sometimes luck is what you need. So it's interesting. The Raptors definitely weren't the greatest team that year, but they were able to win. John says, think Raptors manager should have been fired. It's a good point. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not obviously in any communication, with anybody in the Raptors camp. I don't really know that many Raptors fans, so I don't really know. I don't have any insider information. You guys probably don't have much insider information as well. We're all wondering what's going on with the Raptors, whether it's Nick Nurse, whether it's the GM or, the manager of the Raptors. But I do think that overall there is something going on there. And if the new coach does not keep the player, or the Raptors just don't keep the players, the Raptors could be bad for a long time. If they don't keep Siakam, Anunoby, Gary Trent, Fred VanVleet, whoever it may be, if they, move some of those players away and the Raptors go in tank mode, they're going to be bad for a long time. So it's going to be very interesting. I think that there can be speculation whether the manager should have been fired or Nick Nurse, but usually it's the coach that goes, and if you keep losing, then finally the manager does as well. John says, I agree with that. No guards, bad free throws also. The thing is funny is in that game, where they lost with the free throw line, and it was because of, a lot of people saying it was because of DeMar DeRozan's daughter, even though I don't know if that completely impacted it or whatever. But still, you look at, the Raptors, most of the free throw shooters were good. Anunoby shot 83% that season. Siakam shot like 85%. Most of their players shot well at the line. VanVleet shot like 82%. They all missed free throws. So, I mean, it's not like they were a terrible free throw shooting team, but they missed them when it mattered in that game. But I do agree with you. When you have guards, they usually shoot better overall. Memphis, they hit the technical free throw. I think they called a technical on the Lakers for something. I don't know if it was a intentional foul. I think it was an intentional foul when they were going down the floor. But they did call it, and Memphis was able to get a point out of it. But Memphis misses again, and now the Lakers will have the basketball. So it is 38-30. Los Angeles over Memphis. 8:20 to go in the second quarter. And LeBron James down low off Austin Reeves' pass. What a play. A back cut for LeBron James into the lane. 7 points and 7 rebounds. What a pass by Austin Reeves. Again, Reeves is such an underrated player. Desmond Bane. He kicks over to John Morant in the corner, and Memphis needs some points from him for sure. Grizzlies are now down by 10 points. Morant kicks to Tillman. What a block by LeBron. Morant for three, and it's off. It's not even close. And LeBron gets the rebound. And now the Lakers are starting to put their foot on the gas. They're up by 10. And the lead could grow on this possession. They almost turn it over, though, but Reeves saves it from going out of bounds. Back to LeBron James. LeBron James being guarded by Dylan Brooks. James takes the mid-range two, and it's good. 42-30, and the Lakers are now up by 12. 42-30, 7:30 to go in the second quarter, and Memphis is starting to fade again. Desmond Bane for three. It's off the mark. The ball is out of bounds with 7:29 to go in the second quarter, and things are going from bad to worse for Memphis. They just cannot make consistent shots in this game. They go on a little bit of a run. They make some buckets, but the Lakers are definitely the more consistent basketball team. And now LeBron's starting to get going, and that is never a good sign for the opponent. Lakers have the ball. They are up by 12. D'Angelo Russell is bringing it up the floor, kicks to Austin Reeves. Reeves kicks to LeBron. Back to Reeves, inside to Anthony Davis, and there's a turnover. Finally, a mistake by Austin Reeves. Desmond Bane down the lane, and a block by LeBron from behind. And he's got the Mutombo finger going. What a block by LeBron James. He erased Desmond Bane's layup. 42-30, and Memphis cannot buy a bucket. 7:11 to go in the second quarter. So right now, Memphis, they have not scored outside of that one free throw in a few minutes. They have not been able to get shots to fall. But you've got LeBron James with 9 points and 8 rebounds and a couple of blocks. He's playing some solid basketball. Now you've got Dylan Brooks into the lane, and he is blocked by Anthony Davis. Now John Morant into the lane. He kicks to Dylan Brooks in the corner, and he misses a complete air ball. And I'm sure the air ball chants are loud in the crowd. And there is a turnover for Los Angeles, but they call it off of Memphis. They say that Memphis tipped the ball. But, man, Memphis is really struggling to shoot the basketball right now. They cannot get a shot to fall. They are really struggling from the floor, and the Lakers' defensive pressure and intensity is a big reason why. I don't think Memphis touched that. I do not think Memphis touched. Xavier Tillman did not touch that basketball. That's a bad call. 42-30, the ball should go to Memphis. I don't think it was touched. That's a really interesting play right there. They're going to, I think, review it. Maybe there's a challenge, but I don't think that ball was off of Memphis. It looks like it was off of Los Angeles, but the refs are going to be reviewing it. So we'll have to see if they change the call. Buckeye Mike is here. Thanks for being here. Buckeye Mike says, hey, bro, hey, everyone, how we doing? What an amazing weekend. 100%. And there has been so many fantastic games in the XFL, USFL, but especially the NBA. Why everyone is here for sure. Really appreciate all you guys for being here. It means so much, but 100%. You look at the NBA playoffs. These games have been delivering for sure. And I know that some of these first-round playoff series haven't been that competitive, but we have a few good ones. And there's been some great games overall. And hopefully it continues as we go further and further in these NBA playoffs. Hopefully these games continue to be fantastic. And if they are, then I'm sure it will be a lot of fun for everybody watching. It's been awesome for sure. Go Tigers has been reported for a while now that the locker room had given up on Nick Nurse. Again, that's always interesting with reports. Sometimes you don't know. I mean, I've heard reports before where they say somebody on the team's upset with another player on that team, and then they go back and then the player confirms that there is nothing going on. It's not true. But then sometimes it is true, and they're not telling the truth. It's very interesting. Like you said, the report saying that Nick Nurse in the locker room wasn't too good. Maybe that's the case. You could be right, but it is an interesting situation for sure. I still do think that the Raptors would have been in better shape if they had better roster construction, but it is what it is. I mean, you definitely could be right with that. It is unfortunate for Nick Nurse. Hopefully he can get another job. I don't know if it's going to be as a head coach or an assistant or whatever, but at least he has that heyday of winning the NBA title in 2019, even if he's not able to get another job, and I'm sure that he will. They're still reviewing this play right here, whether it is off of Memphis or Los Angeles. I still think that Tillman did not touch it. They've showed the play several times. Memphis did end up challenging it, and I do think that the ball is off the Lakers. It does not look like Xavier Tillman touched it because of the fact when he was going for that ball, it never changed direction. It went out of bounds, and then he was calling for it to go back to the Grizzlies. I'm looking at it again. It just doesn't look like he touched it. It's really close, though. I mean, I will admit, it is really close, but they're reviewing this extensively to try to figure out whether he touched it or not. Man, that is close. Xavier Tillman was going after it. He shouldn't have gone after it, because if he hadn't have, then it definitely would not have even mattered. It would have been Memphis ball by now. But he was trying to go after the ball. Got to give him effort for trying to get the basketball. A hustle play, but man, that is so close. The refs are still reviewing it. And you got to give the refs credit for reviewing it. You want to get the play right, especially because the coach challenged it. But it does slow the game down, and it makes it tough on the players who want to go out there and continue to play. Sometimes, it would be better, even if the call was wrong, if you just go out there and keep playing. But it's interesting. I mean, you do want to get the play right, but it will settle all these players down and be able to give them a break, but it could potentially throw them off their rhythm as well. It'll be very interesting to see how that dynamic plays out once we get back in this game, get it going again, because it has been a stoppage for a few minutes. It's going to be very interesting. Did he touch it? They're still reviewing it. Did he touch the basketball? I don't know. It is so close. This is one of the longest reviews. Usually the NBA reviews are quicker than college. Like college, you'll sometimes see a review where it's like 5 minutes long, and they're trying to see whether the play is correct or not, who it's off of. But in the NBA, usually you do not see these long reviews. I mean, again, you got to give them credit for reviewing it. But, man, they are thoroughly going after this. I still think it is Memphis basketball. I don't think it touched Xavier Tillman, but we'll have to see what the refs call here. 6:56 to go in the second quarter. Memphis is down by 12, and it's an unsuccessful challenge. It's an unsuccessful challenge. They're giving the ball back to Los Angeles, and Xavier Tillman has a look of unbelief on his face. Same with the head coach for Memphis. I did not think the ball touched him, but they are giving the ball back to Los Angeles. He is laughing, Xavier Tillman is, but they're giving the ball to the Lakers. Lakers catch a break there. Reeves to inbound the ball. He kicks it to Anthony Davis, who seems like he is okay after his fall. Hopefully he will be okay. D'Angelo Russell kicks to LeBron. Now it's over to Troy Brown. The passing has been exquisite for the Lakers in this game for the most part. Troy Brown in the lane. Troy Brown lays it in. 44-30, and the deficit for the Grizzlies is now up to 14 points. The lead is growing for Los Angeles. Desmond Bane with the ball. 6:30 to go in the second quarter. Morant, he gets the ball from Roddy. David Roddy with the ball driving into the lane for Memphis. He misses the shot, and I think there is a foul. Roddy might have a couple free throws here. Anthony Davis, he does not understand the call. I don't think he thought he fouled. And LeBron saying it's all ball. It's always funny to me how players always are saying it's all ball or it's not a foul, but the refs aren't going to change the call. 99 out of 100, they're not going to change the call just because of the fact you're going off about it. I appreciate, them, saying, especially when they're right, like when Xavier Tillman's got, I think he's right. Now, let's see here. Yeah, I think that Anthony Davis did foul him. He got him under the arm, so that is a foul, but LeBron's saying it's not a foul, and they're definitely, they're challenging it too. Los Angeles is challenging the foul call. It's also funny. We're in the second quarter, but they're challenging the foul calls. This is funny. This is really funny. You got the Lakers are up 44-30. They're up by 14 points. They call a foul on Anthony Davis, and they're challenging the foul to see whether it's a foul or not. They definitely could have saved those for later on in the game, but they want to go ahead and use the coach's challenges now. I guess that's okay. Very interesting there. Everson, my point about the Luck was winning that title. It put a ton of pressure on the coach. Then you were barely competitive in the regular season and playoffs. Yeah, I agree. I mean, definitely, it just goes to show that 2019 Raptors win was an anomaly, and it was also because you had Kawhi Leonard, a player that you never had again. He was only there 1 year. And then overall, I think that definitely made, Nick Nurse, like you said, potentially look worse because those other seasons weren't that great. But if you didn't have Kawhi Leonard that year, and you also didn't have those injuries to those players, more likely the Raptors are not even a team that goes far in that playoffs at all. And then every single year would have been about the same. So I do agree with you. It's a very interesting thing to look back on for sure. I think it's definitely interesting. Still 44-30, 6:22 to go in the second quarter. Roddy into the lane, and they're reviewing Anthony Davis's play. Now, I think maybe what they're talking about is potentially that David Roddy hooked Anthony Davis. I don't know. On second viewing, it does look like potentially David Roddy might have hooked Anthony Davis's arm a bit, but I don't think he was necessarily trying to hook Anthony Davis. I think it was more of he was trying to, secure himself from falling down through the air. That's a very interesting play. We've seen some crazy plays being called here, and the refs have had to review some crazy play with these coaches' challenges. 6:22 to go in the second quarter. Still 44-30, but the stoppages of play have been crazy. There's been a lot of stoppages of play. You can definitely tell the refs want to get this game moving on again. But they do call this one a successful challenge. So this time, the Lakers, they do win the challenge. So Los Angeles, I think they'll either, well, are they going to call a foul on Roddy? I'm not 100% sure. They're just not going to call a foul at all. We'll have to see. With 6:22 to go in the second, Roddy is laughing about it as well. What are they going to call here? The Memphis coach just has unbelief on his face. He's like, I cannot believe that we just had a call go overall from an unsuccessful challenge on our end to a successful challenge on there, and he can't believe it. But it will be a jump ball here at half court. Anthony Davis only still has 2 fouls. That's huge as well because he could have picked up a third there. That would have been his third foul. It's probably another reason why Darvin Ham called the coach's challenge. They're probably a smart play there, I guess. David Roddy, he knocks down the 3. So he goes down there from it, potentially going to the foul line for 2 free throws to hitting a 3. That's big for Memphis, down to 11. But Memphis is only shooting 4 of 18 from 3. That's not too good. The Lakers are 4 of 12. So not much better as well. 6 to go in the second quarter. The ball is out of bounds, and it's off of the Memphis Grizzlies. 5:58 to go in the second quarter. That was a big 3 for Roddy. Roddy is a good shooter. He's definitely a player that has a lot of upside for sure. Definitely is an improving player. What a play down there for LeBron James. He laid it in. 46-33. Roddy kicks to Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks for 2. He knocks it down. 46-35, and that is definitely what you want to see from the Memphis Grizzlies. The other players making shots. Dillon Brooks, he has 6 points. You don't want to see John Morant doing it all. 5:30 to go in the second quarter. It's 46-35. Lakers are up by 11. Troy Brown in the corner being guarded by John Morant. Now Reeves for 3, and Reeves knocks down the shot. 49-35, and the Lakers are back up by 14. What a big shot by Austin Reeves. Now John Morant for Memphis into the lane. Kicks to Desmond Bane, and he responds with a big 3. 49-38. So Memphis is staying within striking distance to a degree, but they definitely need to get this deficit down lower before the half. You don't want to be down by double digits. Reeves in the lane. The ball is out of bounds, and it's off of Troy Brown's foot. So it will be Memphis Grizzlies basketball. 4:53 to go in the second quarter. They're down by 11. That was a big shot by Austin Reeves. And then it was a big shot overall by Desmond Bane on the other end. The offense is starting to heat up a bit for both teams, especially the Lakers. They're almost at 50 points already. 4:40 to go in the second quarter. John Morant kicks to Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane goes off the ball screen. He goes up and he misses the left. There's no foul call. Anthony Davis is down again. Hopefully Anthony Davis is okay. Austin Reeves in the lane, and Austin Reeves lays it in. 51-38, and there is another timeout. 4:32 to go in the second quarter. I don't know if it's to help Anthony Davis get off the floor. Maybe that's what it is. But Anthony Davis is definitely getting banged up. I don't think he meant to for sure, but Desmond Bane, he went down in the lane, and he definitely elbowed Anthony Davis in a tough spot. And they're going to give a technical free throw for Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane just hit a free throw. I don't know. They called a technical foul on the Lakers. So that's really interesting there. So the Memphis Grizzlies catch a break. They definitely maybe could have called something on Desmond Bane for elbowing Anthony Davis. They did not. Maybe it was somebody that said something for the Lakers. But Los Angeles is up 51-39. Memphis has the ball, and they need to find a way to make some buckets before the half. Maybe get this down to around 6 or 7 points at half. Morant in the lane, he was not able to finish that beautiful reverse. Now Reeves on the other end. And Reeves is fouled from behind by Desmond Bane. So Reeves will have a couple of free throws. That's crazy. That was a really good pass by Anthony Davis up the floor. And Austin Reeves front. Yeah, that's definitely a foul on Desmond Bane. He fouled him really hard. I mean, you got to give him credit for fouling to the point where he was not going to make the shot, but that was a lot of contact for sure. So now Austin Reeves, he has 2 free throws. for the Lakers. I think he's a pretty good free throw shooter. 4:16 to go in the second quarter. There's been so many stoppages to play. Even Austin Reeves, like, can have the ball. You can see him visibly saying, can have the ball so I can shoot the free throw. 52-38. Lakers are up by 14 points. They'll have another free throw after this to potentially put Los Angeles up by 15 points. And again, Memphis is kind of back in where they were in game 3, just down by too many points. And they didn't start out the game too badly. They were actually winning, and Reeves hits the second. So it's 53-38. But Memphis is just back down by the amount of points they kind of were for the most of the game in game 3. And if they can't cut this lead down for the Lakers, then Memphis is not going to be able to win again, and they'll be down 3-1. And Anthony Davis only has 2 points, and you're still down 15, which is even worse for Memphis. And then on the other end, Memphis misses a 3. Now the Lakers are going down the floor. D'Angelo Russell gets the ball from Anthony Davis to Troy Brown. Back to Russell at the top of the key. Anthony Davis on the left block. He kicks back out to Reeves. Back to Anthony Davis, being guarded by Jaren Jackson Jr. Anthony Davis goes up strong. He misses the shot, and Roddy with the board. Jaren Jackson down the floor. 3:30 to go in the second, and the ball is off of Memphis. Ja Morant was trying to get the basketball from Jaren Jackson, and the Lakers blew up that play. And the ball, that might have been off of Troy Brown. I'm not 100% sure there, but then the Lakers just go around and turn it over anyway, so it will be Memphis basketball. Now we're starting to get a little sloppy. 3:29 to go in the second quarter. Lakers up 53-38. Memphis basketball. Ja Morant, he has been quiet for a while. He has not scored in a long time, it has felt like. Now you've got Jaren Jackson with the ball, being guarded by Anthony Davis. Kicks to Roddy. Roddy for 3. His shot is off the mark, but Desmond Bane with the offensive rebound, and he lays it in. Good play by Desmond Bane to stick with it and get that putback. 53-40. 3 to go in the second quarter. Reeves basketball. He blows by Roddy into the lane, kicks back out to Russell for 3, and Russell's shot is in and out, and Bane with the board. 2:50 to go in the second quarter. Here's Memphis' chance to cut the lead again. Bane in the lane. Outside to Ja Morant, back to Bane for 3. Bane's shot is off, but Jaren Jackson with the rebound and put back and one. 53-42. The Grizzlies are starting to do a pretty good job on the glass. 2:39 to go in the second quarter, and it's 53-42. What a play by Jaren Jackson Jr. He got that board, and he laid it, and he's fouled by D'Angelo Russell. And if he hits this free throw, it will put Memphis only down by 10. 7 points and 5 rebounds so far for Jaren Jackson. LeBron James, he is back into the game for the Lakers. And Jaren Jackson, his free throw is up, and it is good. So it's 53-43, 2:40 to go in the second quarter. LeBron inbounds to Austin Reeves. 10 offensive rebounds for Memphis, 12 second chance points. 3 offensive rebounds for the Lakers, 4 second chance points. So Memphis is definitely doing a much better job in the offensive rebounding category. And Reeves, he misses the short 2. So Memphis down by 10 with the ball. Dylan Brooks for 3. His shot is off, and the Lakers are bringing the ball back up the floor. LeBron James. He thought about taking the shot. He swings over to Reeves. Reeves with the behind-the-back dribble. He goes up strong. What a block by Jaren Jackson. That was a good drive by Reeves, but a really good block by Jackson. Ja Morant in the lane. And Ja Morant goes up strong, lays it in, and he's looking for an and one. It looked like he potentially did get fouled. They do not call it. 53-45. Memphis has cut it to 8. And another big block by Memphis, but this time they do call a foul on the Memphis Grizzlies. So the Lakers will have some free throws, but Jaren Jackson timed that Austin Reeves layup perfectly. Morant, that was a good layup. That's close. I think Vanderbilt might have been clean there, but Morant was looking for an and one. But now Jared Vanderbilt, he's at the line for 2 free throws. 1:48 to go in this second quarter. His first free throw is up, and it is off the mark. He was not able to knock that free throw down. And free throws are so important in the NBA playoffs. As shown by the Raptors, you got to make them. You cannot miss too many free throws overall, or you will be in a lot of trouble. 1:48 to go in the second quarter, and Vanderbilt's second free throw is up, and this one he knocks down. So it's a 9-point lead for Los Angeles. Desmond Bane kicks to Dillon Brooks. Jared Vanderbilt, 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 blocks. He has had a solid game. Morant bringing it up the floor. He's definitely been quiet, but he just hit a big shot. Bane in the lane again. Goes up with a floater, and he knocks that one down. And Memphis has cut it to 7, 54-47. Really nice play by Desmond Bane. He's got 10 points. He's only 4-12 from the field, but he has had a solid game, definitely contributing at a higher level than he did in Game 3 in the first half. Anthony Davis kicks to LeBron James at the top of the key. LeBron James being guarded by Xavier Tillman. The Grizzlies and Lakers have liked this matchup a lot. LeBron pulls back for 3. His 3 is off the mark. It almost went, but it did not drop. And there's a foul on Austin Reeves trying to go after the basketball. Are the Lakers in the bonus yet? I'm not sure, but there's 1:05 to go in the second quarter. In the Memphis Grizzlies, I think maybe the Lakers are in the bonus. Looks like they're trotting over to the free throw line. He definitely should not have done that. I mean, Austin Reeves, you got to give him credit for trying to have effort, but you can't just foul a player when he gets a rebound on the arm like that. It's a wasted foul, and it's free points for the other team. Jaren Jackson with 8 points and 7 rebounds. He's 3 of 9 from the field. He's having a solid game, but again, like Desmond Bane, struggling from the floor. He does hit the first. So again, as disastrous as Memphis was at one point, down by 15, they have cut it to 6. And that is not a bad deficit to be at around half. If you can keep it around here. Austin Reeves now with 3 fouls. That's also not smart. He's got 3 fouls, which is really tough. But if Memphis can be down at around 5 points at the half, it will go a long way in helping them potentially be able to win this game. And he does hit the second. Jaren Jackson hits both free throws. So it's 54-49, an 11-1 run for the Grizzlies in the last 2 minutes. So they're definitely starting to play some better basketball. LeBron James now being guarded by Dillon Brooks. D'Angelo Russell. He's on Desmond Bane. LeBron to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis almost loses the basketball. It looked like he was trying to draw a foul. It's exactly what he was doing, and he is mad. He thought that he drew the foul, but he did not get it, and they called the ball off of the Lakers. So it is Memphis ball. 40 seconds to go in the second quarter. John Morant dribbling around. John Morant in the lane trying to go for the 2-for-1. His shot is off, but he definitely was doing it where Memphis could get another shot before the half. LeBron James with the basketball. Behind the back to D'Angelo Russell. Russell into the lane. Russell for 2, and it's off the mark. Man, it looked like D'Angelo Russell had a really sweet play there, but it was not able to go in. You have 15 seconds left in this second quarter. Desmond Bane dribbling the ball at the top of the key. Under 10 seconds to go. 7 seconds. Desmond Bane still with the ball. Kicks to Tillman. Back to Bane for 3. And Desmond Bane knocks down the 3. 3 seconds to go in the second quarter. LeBron James to Vanderbilt for 3. And Vanderbilt's 3 is off the mark. And we have a 2-point game at the half. 54-52. What a response from the Memphis Grizzlies. They were down by 15 points earlier in this game, but they have cut it all the way back to 2. And what a big shot before the half by Desmond Bane. He's up to 13 points. Big shot for momentum in this second half, potentially, for the Memphis Grizzlies. 54-52. A lot of things have not gone Memphis's way, but they're only down by 2 points at the half. So that is really great for them. Jonas is hot a Buckeye. Thanks for being here, both of you. Jonas says LeBron is playing like the old days. Yes, I agree with you. 100%. LeBron James, the fact that he is at his age of 38 years old, and he's still going out there playing at a high level is incredible. I mean, he's still playing great basketball. Does he play well every night? Maybe not, but even on his bad nights, he's still scoring 18, 22 points. And he's still playing some extremely good basketball at his age. And that's been the biggest thing that's been tough for players coming out of high school and players that, players coming out of college. And these younger players that, go from high school to the G League, and then players go from the high school to Australia to play, and then the guys that go to college for 1 year and then go pro, one and done. It's really tough because these guys that are still in the NBA that are older, I mean, you think about Jimmy Butler, Stephon Curry, LeBron James. All these guys are older. Kyle Lowry, I mean, he's, not at the top of his game, but he's still solid. Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, these are all guys 33 and older. there's even more guys that are playing still extremely high-level basketball, and they're not leaving the league. And then you're having these younger guys trying to come into the league and compete with these guys. There's just way too many great players and not enough roster spots. Especially now that these players are playing longer in their careers and playing so well late in their careers. It's insane. Clint Moses says, go Beavs. Thanks for being here, Clint. Still tough overall not to have the Beavers succeeding in college basketball, but in college football, they might have a good football season. DJ Uiagalelei, he could have a great year. I think that overall, Oregon State is definitely trending in the right direction. They've been good for a couple seasons. They could be really good again, especially if DJ plays really well. Jonathan Smith is a great head coach, so looking forward to Oregon State football this year, but really appreciate you for being here tonight, Clint Moses. Therese Ann, thanks for being here. Miami Heat and the Lakers as well. Definitely some really great games. There's been a lot of great NBA playoff action, but really appreciate you for being here. Edward says, Murray got suspended for Game 5. Celtics should be an easy gentleman sweep. So you're definitely excited about that. DeJounte Murray getting suspended for a game is the absolute last thing that the Hawks could have needed or could have used in that situation. The Celtics were already doing a great job of dominating that series, and now you're losing DeJounte Murray. So like you're saying, definitely the Celtics are in great shape, and that will make you happy for sure, and they should be able to easily move on in that series. Clint Moses says, Dylan Brooks, another player that is easy for people not to like. I definitely think that some players just love that role. They love that, that mantra, that label being put on them. It's kind of like Draymond Green. Even Marcus Smart to an extent, but he just plays so hard. Maybe not the same level like Draymond Green. You think about Dennis Rodman back in the day. All those players just love doing what they did. And I don't know if Dylan Brooks is looking for that, but Dylan Brooks has been involved in a lot of crazy plays, and he plays so hard, and he gets in a lot of altercations and stuff that maybe shouldn't happen that maybe he causes. I think overall it's really tough. I mean, if you're in the NBA, you just want to let your play do the talking. And I think that's still the smartest thing you can possibly do is just go out there, play at a high level, and just don't, try to make a name for yourself of being that guy no one likes. I mean, it's not the worst role to have. I think, if you're a guy that just likes that mentality, but usually it's better to let your play do the talking. But I agree with you. I don't think a lot of people are a fan of Dylan Brooks for sure, based on what some of the stuff he has done. John said, when Reeves is on, look out. Yes, because that, to your point, John, it definitely makes the Lakers a much more dangerous team because you're not relying just on LeBron James. You're not just relying on Anthony Davis. Now you have, Austin Reeves playing at a high level. Rui Hachimura is getting involved. D'Angelo Russell. The Lakers have depth now that they've made all these trades. And when their depth is playing at a high level, then they can be one of the deepest teams in the league. So I agree. Reeves, when he is on fire, is definitely good for the Lakers. But they're showing Jimmy Bucket's highlights right now. The Miami Heat, with 56 points from Jimmy Butler. The Miami Heat are now 3-1 on the Milwaukee Bucks. That is still insane. That was a fantastic game earlier tonight. It's still insane overall that the Miami Heat won that game 119-114. Jimmy Butler, 56 points, a franchise playoff record. Brook Lopez at 36. Giannis had a triple-double, but it was not enough because of Jimmy Butler's massive performance. That is unbelievable there. I still cannot believe that he was able to score 56 points in the game. High scoring in playoffs, Michael Jordan was 63 and 86. Elgin Baylor 61 and 1962. Donovan Mitchell 57 in 2020. And Jimmy Butler 56. Barkley had 56. Chamberlain with 56. And Michael Jordan again with 56. So Jimmy Butler is with elite company scoring in the playoffs. To be able to score 56 points in a game is just unbelievable. Look at this game we have right here. The Lakers are up 54-52 on Memphis at the half. Granted, that's only a half, but Jimmy Butler had more points for Miami in this past game tonight than either team has as a whole team at the half. That is a lot of points. And if it wasn't for Jimmy Butler's performance, there is no way the Miami Heat win that game. The next leading scorer was Bam Adebayo with 15 points. So definitely not a lot of contributions from his teammates. He had to have that game. And unfortunately for Miami, if they are able to win the series against Milwaukee, which will be great, they're going to really struggle to be able to go farther. I think that Jimmy Butler would potentially have to have great games every single night. Maybe not 56 points to win, but he'd have to have a lot of points to be able to win because Tyler Hero's out and Victor Oladipo. And I just don't think that the Miami Heat have the best depth in the world. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens for sure with the Miami Heat. But if they are able to win the series, like I said, it's going to be extremely difficult for them to have a great chance to be able to advance even farther because you had to have 56 points from Jimmy Butler to win the game. It kind of reminds me of Jason Tatum. If Edward's still here, he'll definitely remember this. But Jason Tatum had 50 points that one playoff game against the Bucks. And that was the only, or it might have been the Nets, either the Nets or the Bucks in that one year. He had 50 points and they barely won the game. And the Celtics lost that series because they just were not getting enough contributions from other players. Jason Tatum had a fantastic game. I can't remember, maybe Jaylen Brown did, I can't remember, but he had to do it all. And it just isn't a great sign when you have Jimmy Butler scoring 56 points. And yes, you won the game. And now it's setting yourself up in great shape to win the series. You're up 3-1 on the 1 seed. Yes, Giannis missed some games, but still huge for the Miami Heat. But how are they going to be able to have a lot of success in the playoffs beyond this series if they get by, if they just can't get enough contributions from their teammates? I just don't know. I don't think that they're going to have a chance. They just do not have enough, scoring contributions from their teammates to be able to get the job done. I don't think it's impossible, but it's just definitely not looking good. But credit to Jimmy Butler not giving up and leading his team to an incredible victory tonight. It was unbelievable what he did, and it's going to be very interesting to see how far he can lead Miami in the playoffs, whether they can get past this series or not and beyond. Edward said Murray got suspended for Game 5. Celtics should have an easy gentleman's sweep. You're definitely excited about that. I mean, it hurts the Hawks. I mean, they definitely have played the Celtics tough. The one thing that definitely the Hawks deserve a lot of credit for is they have been playing extremely hard in this series. They have been giving the Celtics a lot of fight. They've been playing extremely tough, and they've barely lost some of the games. They've been playing really hard, and they won one, which is awesome for them. But now without DeJounte Murray and the games at the Celtics again, yeah, you would think the Celtics would take care of business. If they don't, then that series could get interesting. But I do think that the Celtics more than likely will take care of business. It really hurts for the Atlanta Hawks that DeJounte Murray got suspended at this time. Clint Moses said Leonard made Nurse a star coach after he left. It was only a matter of time. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it definitely bid him a lot of time, and it gave him many more years with the Raptors. And again, he always will have that NBA title, even if it was mostly because of Kawhi Leonard. But at the end of the day, most of the time, even if you're a great coach, you still need star players to be able to win a final. So, I mean, Kawhi Leonard got it done for Nick Nurse. And like I said, I still feel like the Raptors were a really good team, and they should have went further this year. But I don't think, like I said, that their roster was constructed that well. And, I mean, even though some of the blame should be put on Nick Nurse potentially, for maybe not doing a good enough job, like Edward said, keeping the locker room together, it's just an interesting situation because most teams in the NBA have 2 or 3 or 4 guards on the floor, usually 2 or 3, but sometimes you even see 4 that are mostly guards. Most of the time, the Raptors had 1 guard, and then it was just a bunch of wings. It's just an interesting play style. And I don't think it really benefits them when they're in the NBA playing against all these teams. It's just really interesting. It's unfortunate for Nick Nurse. Hopefully he can, get back on his feet, coaching somewhere else, or maybe doing an assistant coaching job. We don't know what he is going to do, but it's a very interesting situation with the Raptors. But I think what's more interesting is potentially where the Raptors go from here. Do they blow it up? Do they keep the team together? That's what we're going to have to find out, because if the Raptors blow it up, they'll be bad for a long time. They will be a bad team for many years to come. But if they keep this team together, they're definitely going to have to maybe trade one player to maybe get someone else that they need more. Maybe one of their wings, maybe OG Anunoby, maybe Scotty Barnes, one of those players to potentially get some guards or just better roster fits. And maybe that will make them a better team. Who knows? It will be interesting for sure to see what the Raptors do. I hope they don't blow up the whole team. But if they do, they could be a bad team for a while. Clint Moses and Murray was a dog too, makes Pac look bad. For sure. I mean, you definitely don't want to see, players getting in trouble. It's tough. I agree that, with suspensions that, it's not a good look for conferences, teams, players, wherever the players came from. It's really tough. But it should not be a reflection on, the conference as a whole. I don't think the Pac-12 should be, knocked down because he played at Washington and he has a game suspension. But I do agree, it is really tough for sure that he got suspended, and it hurts Pac-12 and Washington a little bit image-wise, especially if a lot of people take that into account. But it is what it is. I mean, hopefully for the Hawks, maybe they can make it interesting with the Celtics, keep that series alive. But for the Celtics' sake, you just want to get this series done and beat, DeJounte-less, Murray, Hawks, and everything like that, and just be able to move on to the series. If you don't have DeJounte Murray, the Hawks should lose and the Celtics should win, and then the Celtics will be able to go to the next series with a lot more time to rest. I think that will definitely help them out for sure. Josh says, Jeff, there's a reason they call him buckets. Josh says Raptors will be getting Jimmy. Well, that is an interesting proposition. But I do agree with you 100% that he should be called Jimmy Buckets. There is no other, nickname that you can literally call him. He is a fantastic player. And at his age as well, people are talking about, is he starting to regress? Is he starting to be past his prime? It's going to be soon. Eventually, all players pass their prime. But if you're a player that works really hard at your game and you continue to play at a high level, then you can continue to potentially keep playing well for as long as possible, like LeBron James has. He's 38 years old. And is LeBron James as explosive and as great as he was 10 years ago? Maybe not, but LeBron James can still do so many things. And I think that Jimmy Butler is showing that he is for real at his age still, and he is not wanting to give away, his star, power in the league. He's wanting to show that he is still a great player, even at his age, and that he's going to continue to play at a high level. And I think that Jimmy Butler definitely has proven that, because he scored more points than he ever has in his career in a game tonight at his age. That's awesome. I mean, Jimmy Butler's a great player, but he scored 56 points in a big playoff game, and he basically single-handedly led the Miami Heat to the victory. Yes, the other players had to step up as well, but he was awesome tonight. He played at an extremely high level for Miami, and it was one of the best performances we've seen from a player in a playoff game in a while. I mean, we've seen some incredible playoff performances by so many players. I mean, it's almost like we take it for granted these days how many players play at a high level game in and game out, and they just continue to play well. And we see this over and over and over. But still, I think that overall, it just goes to show you that even when you get older, you can still play at a high level. And even if your teammates aren't playing the greatest of games, you can go out there and score 56 points and lead your team to victory. And that's what Jimmy Butler did, because he was not getting contributions from his teammates. Miami should have lost tonight, but Jimmy Butler led Miami to victory, and he got just enough from his teammates, and he scored 56 points, and he got it done. And that was a remarkable performance, and it was a very fun game to watch for sure. And what a game by Jimmy Butler. John says, Kyle's still playing well at 37. Yes, Lowry is still good. Kyle Lowry is still good, but Chris Paul is still good. I mean, he's nowhere near where he used to be. But if you're 37, 38, 39 years old, and you're still going out there and playing fairly well, that is so commendable. I mean, you look at the NFL, Tom Brady played into his 40s. That was incredible. And you do have Aaron Rodgers around 40 now, and he's still playing, going to the Jets. It was just breaking news today. But I think that when you're an older player and you're still playing well, it looks so good for you, because you're an older guy. You should not be playing well with all these young bucks, pardon the pun, with Milwaukee. But all these young bucks in the league, you should be regressing. You should not be as good. And that's what we used to see back in the 80s and 70s. Players regressed. A lot of times a player would be good, and then he'd get around 32, 33, and he would just start to decline. I think that overall, potentially it has to do with the fact the amount of training these players put themselves through. They work out so hard. They eat much better maybe than they did in the past. That's why they stay healthy longer. That's why they're able to play longer than they were. I think it's the extensive training players go through all the time, day in and day out, that potentially keeps them to be able to play longer than they did back in the day. But players are playing so much longer now than they used to, and it's crazy. It just goes to show you these players are wanting to play the game of basketball longer, and it does make it tough on these new players wanting to get in the league. But it's so awesome to see, overall, looking at the NBA, these guys that are older still in the league. It's really cool, because they want to play, and they're still good, and they deserve to be in the NBA. They're still great players, and I mean, they're not really regressing that much. LeBron James is not really regressing that much. It is awesome to see. It is awesome to see All of these older guys going out there and still playing like they're 30 years old and 28 years old. And I think it's going to continue to happen. I think more and more players are still going to be playing at a high level when they get older. It's going to create a lot of roster problems, especially for younger players wanting to get into the league. And who knows how they're going to, if they ever add teams in the NBA, who knows what's going to happen there. But definitely so many great players that are older that are still in the league, and it's awesome to see. But the third quarter is starting. Austin Reeves, and right off the bat, he floats it in 56-52. That was a really good shot by Austin Reeves. He's having a really solid game so far. Memphis, they definitely did a good job cutting down the lead of the Lakers late in that second quarter. But now they're down by 4 again, but make that 2 points again because Desmond Bane, he hit a big 2, and he has got a lot of confidence right now after hitting a big 3 at the end of that first half for Memphis. He's got 15 points and 4 rebounds. He is starting to heat up. Memphis down by 2. 11-10 to go in the third. Austin Reeves in the lane. Austin Reeves with a turnaround on Morant, kicks to Anthony Davis, who's still in the game even though he's been banged up, and he knocks down the turnaround hook shot. 58-54, a really good shot by Anthony Davis. Now, Ja Morant with the ball, he has still been kind of quiet. He is playing nowhere near as well as he did in the last game where he had 45 points, but his teammates are playing better. And Ja Morant, he misses a 3. It's ironic his teammates played better in the last game, and his teammates played really bad in the last game. He played great. Now, in this game, his teammates are playing much better, and he's not having his greatest game, and it's really hurting Memphis overall. If he had had his teammates playing better in the last game, they would have won for sure. But Ja Morant, 45 in the last game, but tonight really struggling overall. And I think there is an offensive foul on Austin Reeves. 10:35 to go in the third quarter. He was driving in on Ja Morant. He might have gotten him with a little bit of elbow. Across the face. Hopefully, Ja Morant's okay. I see it. When Austin Reeves turned, he got Morant in the face a little bit. That is tough for sure. Austin Reeves now with 4 fouls. So Austin Reeves, he's had a good game. He has 13 points, but now he has 4 fouls. That is tough to see right there. You definitely do not want to be in foul trouble this early, and Austin Reeves is an important player for the Lakers. Desmond Bane, he misses a 3, but Jaren Jackson gets the offensive rebound and put back, 58-56. And one thing that the Memphis Grizzlies have done a really good job of in this game has been offensive rebounding. They have definitely out-rebounded the Lakers, especially on the offensive side of the glass, by a high level. And you do have D'Angelo Russell for the Lakers going in the lane, and he scores 60-56. D'Angelo Russell, nice bucket there. Morant in the lane, dancing around, goes up with a floater, and he finally scores again. 60-58, good sign for Grizzlies fans that Morant finally gets another bucket. Russell with the basketball. Lakers are up by 2. To Anthony Davis. Down low to Vanderbilt for the dunk, and what a pass by Anthony Davis to Jared Vanderbilt. Somebody missed their man, and it made the Memphis Grizzlies pay. 62-58. Now Desmond Bane down the floor, kicks to Tillman. And Xavier Tillman Sr., he knocks down that layup. 62-60, 9:20 to go in the third. This game's going back and forth. We've had bucket after bucket from both these teams. Russell in the lane, and another score. 64-60, Lakers up by 4, 9 to go in the third. Morant with the basketball. Morant down the floor, and the foul is on the floor. Jonathan, that's funny right there. They call him Kobe. That's a good one. That is a good one right there. I mean, he's like Kobe Bryant, but he's reckless. I mean, Ja Morant is reckless for sure. That is a funny comment for sure. Still appreciate you for being here, Jada's got a really good game here. 64-60, 9:05 to go in the third quarter. Desmond Bane inbounds to Jaren Jackson. Back to Desmond Bane. Now Jaren Jackson into the lane, and really good defense by Los Angeles. They're keeping him out of the paint really well. Morant goes up. He loses the ball, gets it back, and he's fouled. There was a foul on D'Angelo Russell. He fouled Morant on the arm as he was trying to kick that ball out. I don't think there's free throws because there's no shot. So there's no free throws, and they're not in the bonus yet. So it will remain Memphis basketball. 8:50 to go in the third quarter. Dylan Brooks swings to Desmond Bane into the lane, and Desmond Bane is fouled hard. Desmond Bane drove with a full head of steam into the lane, and he will have a couple of free throws here to potentially cut down this lead. I really like the effort Desmond Bane is providing in this game for Memphis. He got 15 points, 4 rebounds. It really seemed like he was starting to find his rhythm at the end of that second quarter, and it has carried over into this third quarter as well. He's playing at an extremely high level. definitely helping out John Morant, who has struggled a bit in this game. And Desmond Bane, he hits the first free throw. So it's 64, 261, 8:46 to go in the third. And Steven Adams, he's still out for Memphis, which is really tough. I think he's out with an injury. That really hurts Memphis's depth in the post. But overall, Steven Adams definitely being out is not the end of the world. Memphis still has enough talent to get this win and be able to win this series, but they have been struggling overall as a team in this series, especially when John Morant was out. That's when they played their best game and won their only game in the series. But with John Morant back, they just have not been playing consistent basketball, whether it's been Morant or his teammates. Russell in the lane, and Russell's doing some nice things. What a shot by D'Angelo Russell. He took the screen and he floated it in. 8:30 to go. Russell with 8 points, 6 of them already in this third quarter. Jaren Jackson swings to John Morant. Morant kicks to Tillman. Tillman in the lane, and Tillman, he lays it in. 66-64, and we're still going back and forth. 8:10 to go in the third quarter. D'Angelo Russell into the lane again. He's trying to drive by Desmond Bane. Do they call a foul? No, they don't, and the ball is off of the Lakers. 8:07 to go in the third quarter, and the ball will be with the Memphis Grizzlies. They're inbounding the ball. Morant to Jackson, back to Morant. If Morant can get going in this game, Memphis has a great chance to win. They're hanging around. The teammates are doing a great job, especially Desmond Bane. Morant in the lane, and Morant, he misses the shot, but Anthony Davis, he gets the rebound. LeBron down the floor. LeBron, he misses a layup. Now Dylan Brooks to Morant. Morant down the floor. Morant goes up strong, and he lays it in, and Morant falls hard on his wrist. Hopefully Morant's okay. Again, that is definitely the bad part of having a player like John Morant that is always playing so hard. He lands awkwardly on his body all the time. Morant fell down. He was trying to brace himself on Anthony Davis, and he landed awkwardly on his wrist. 66-66, tie game. But if Morant is out again for the Grizzlies, that would be detrimental to their chances. And Morant, he is going, looks like potentially to the locker room. 7:32 to go in the third quarter, and John Morant again is banged up. That is not what you want to see. That is really tough. How will Memphis be able to win this game without their star player? Can Desmond Bane lead him? He has been playing solid, but John Morant, even though he has not had his best game, he was starting to pick it up. He was starting to hit some shots, and he still is your main ball handler. They'll have to bring in Tyus Jones, and he'll have to do a lot more for Memphis if they want to win. But Tyus Jones has not been playing well lately. But that is horrible to see if you're a Memphis Grizzlies fan. John Morant, he is going to end his career early if he keeps getting hurt. It's almost like a Josh Allen problem in the NFL. Josh Allen runs so much and he takes so many hits. You just wonder how long he's going to be able to last. But with John Morant, he just puts his body through so much abuse. He's always falling to the floor from big heights, and it's just not good on his body. I hate to see it for John Morant, but he's going to have to be careful. He definitely needs to take care of his body more. You definitely like to see the acrobatic plays, but you can't put your body in harm's way. But it's 66-66. And if John Morant's hurt and he's not able to come back, the Lakers are in a really good position here because they're healthy and they're going to go out there and play hard. And this could be a moment where D'Angelo Russell can take over because you don't have John Morant on the floor. He can start hitting some big shots, get the ball over to Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And I think that they'll be able to start to dominate in this game. I'm not saying Memphis will be done if John Morant is out, but Memphis will definitely be in a lot of hot water, and they're going to have a lot of contributions from the rest of the roster if they're going to have any chance. But it's definitely not looking good for Memphis if you do have an injured John Morant. He definitely looks hurt. He cried out in pain when he fell. He landed awkwardly on his wrist, and that is not what you want to see. There have been so many injuries in these NBA playoffs. Again, these playoffs have been awesome, and even though some of the series, like some people have said, have not been close, most of these series have been a lot of fun. They've been great, but the problem is that you do have a lot of injuries impacting these playoffs. A lot of these teams are losing these playoff series due to injuries. You look at the Bucks. If Giannis was healthy the whole time, there's a great chance they're winning that series. You look at Memphis without John Morant. That was tough, even though the game he was out, it's the game they won, ironically. Looking at the Clippers, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. both of them are out now. It was just Paul George, but now it's Kawhi Leonard. They're probably going to lose that series for sure. So it's just injuries have been a key issue for a lot of these teams. Joel Embiid, he's out right now for the 76ers. If he can't come back, that can impact their next series. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens for sure. But injuries have definitely played a big role in these playoffs. It's not just your normal one or two players hurt. There's been a lot of players hurt. The Heat don't have Hero or Oladipo. And, man, look at Morant. Morant just – they're showing the play where he got hurt a few days ago when he fell. How do you brace yourself? I don't even know how his wrist did not break off because his hand just fell. I don't know. That's horrible. John Morant just puts his body through way too much, and he's back on the floor. John Morant is back on the floor. The credit of youth. He is a young player, and he's still, I guess, able to go out there and play, but I don't know how. His hand when he fell the other night, and he did miss a game. I'm surprised that he's still even able to be on the floor. I'm surprised he didn't break his wrist. I'm so glad he's out there still for Memphis, but he needs to be careful. John Morant in pain, in the lane, and a behind-the-back pass to Xavier Tillman. You have John Morant hurt, and what a play there. Josh says, great call, Jeff. Work tomorrow. Got to run Canada out. Have a great game, guys. Really appreciate that, Josh. Thanks for being here. Hope you have a great day tomorrow. And you say John is one tough guy. Yes, John Morant, he is one tough cookie. He is out there doing behind-the-back passes in a lot of pain. I just don't know how he can continue to put his body through so much contact. He's going to have to not get hurt like this too many more times, especially right now. He needs to heal. But Morant is still on the floor. And the Memphis Grizzlies are up by 2 points. It's 68-66, and Memphis leads for the first time in a long time. But LeBron James was fouled. He's going to the line. He has 11 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. And his first free throw is no good. So LeBron James, he misses the first free throw. He'll have one more to potentially put the Lakers only down by 1. And his free throw is good. So it is a 1-point lead for Memphis. 68-67, 6:55 to go in the third quarter. John Morant with the ball. You can tell he is laboring a bit with his hand. Being guarded by Jared Vanderbilt at the top of the key. Memphis done a good job getting back in this game. Morant still favoring his right hand. Morant drives in the lane. He tried to kick it over to Jaren Jackson in the corner, and the ball is off of the Lakers. It was tapped out by Anthony Davis, so it will still be Memphis basketball. 6:36 to go in the third quarter. There have been definitely a lot of stoppages of play in this game, a lot of reviews. So definitely, as we're still only in the third quarter right now. It feels like we're almost in the fourth, but it's still the third quarter. Morant to inbound to Desmond Bane for 3, and Desmond Bane knocks down the 3. He hits another big shot, 71-67, a really good inbounds play. He's got 20 points and 4 rebounds. D'Angelo Russell over to LeBron James. 6:20 to go in the third. James fakes the 3. Being guarded by Jaren Jackson. Still LeBron at the top of the key. Sizing up Jaren Jackson into the lane. LeBron with the good spin move kicks to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis misses the floater, but then Jared Vanderbilt with the putback. Nice awareness by Jared Vanderbilt. Morant with the ball. Driving on Troy Brown. Kicks over to Jaren Jackson for 3. His 3 is off the mark, and Vanderbilt with the board. And the ball is out of bounds off of Memphis. It looked like Xavier Tillman was trying to knock it off of Jared Vanderbilt, but they do call it off of Xavier Tillman. 5:52 to go in the third. 71-69. Memphis leads over Lakers. Rui Hachimura, he's coming into the game for Los Angeles. They're taking LeBron James out for a breather. It definitely looked like it could have been off of the Lakers, but maybe you had Xavier Tillman step out before he got that pass off. So who knows? They did not show a replay, so we might never know. 71-69. D'Angelo Russell, he has the basketball. He's driving into the lane. He pushes off a bit on Morant. No foul call there. Vanderbilt into the lane. Kicks over to Troy Brown. A little bit too much unselfish passing. Now Anthony Davis, he does not get the shot off. He made the shot, but it is a shot clock violation. That's a tough play there for Anthony Davis. It was a really good shot, but the red light came on first. So it will not count. Memphis still leads by 2 points. 5:31 to go in the third quarter, and it's 71-69. The refs are going over to the monitor, but they definitely do not have to review that. That ball was clearly still in Anthony Davis's hand. 5:31 to go in the third quarter. They still have Dennis Schroeder waiting to get into the game. Now they're saying that the ball is with the Lakers. I don't understand. That's a little bit confusing. It was still in his hand. It looked like a shot clock violation, but they give the ball back to the Lakers. I'm not 100% sure there. But Rui Hachimura, he misses a three. Now D'Angelo Russell, he misses a three as well. Now Memphis bringing the ball up the floor, 71-69. Desmond Bane in the lane, and he scores. And Desmond Bane up to 22 points. He's playing much better than he did in game 3. 73-69, 5 to go in the third. Anthony Davis basketball being guarded by Desmond Bane. Kicks over to D'Angelo Russell. John Morant still in the game somehow for Memphis, unbelievably. 4:50 to go in the third quarter. Anthony Davis is being hounded at the top of the key. 1 second to go. He loses the ball. Morant down the floor. And there is a foul. There is a foul on the Lakers down the floor. They prevented Morant from going coast to coast. Morant would have had a layup. But what a play by Desmond Bane going all the way down the lane. Desmond Bane has been playing some great basketball in this game, and it's definitely been much needed for the Memphis Grizzlies to be able to be in this lead. In the lead for the Grizzlies over the Lakers, because without Desmond Bane's performance, I don't think they would be winning. Morant's playing solid, but he's been banged up, and he is really trying to stay healthy in this game, but he just keeps getting hurt. And now they're reviewing again. The refs are over at the monitor, reviewing maybe for an intentional foul. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe a player was grabbed as they were going down the floor. Let's see. John Morant was going down the floor. And I think they're looking potentially at D'Angelo Russell for fouling him in the open floor to stop him from the fast break. That has been called an intentional foul lately, which usually results in a flagrant foul, which gives you a free throw. But I think that it could be. It wasn't much. It wasn't much of a foul, but it is a take foul. You're trying to prevent the player from running the court, and it is a potential dangerous play, so they have tried to take that out of the game. But the refs are over at the monitor, still reviewing it. It's going to be very interesting to see. It would really benefit the Grizzlies if they do get a free throw out of it, but I don't think it was much. But who knows what they're going to call. The referees have definitely been working hard in this game. They've been over at the monitor a lot in this game, several times going over, and there's been a lot of times they've been over at the monitor for several minutes. There's just been tons of moments where they've had to check calls. It's crazy. A lot of reviews, which is good. You want to get the plays right, which I understand, but it does bog the game down, and it makes it where the players can get rest, but the players want to go out there and run the floor. They want to be able to keep the juices flowing, the adrenaline pumping, and you just cannot do that when there's constant stoppages. But it is definitely the refs trying to do the right thing, get the right call. But we still have 4:48 to go in the third quarter, 73-69. Memphis is up by 4 points, and we're trying to see if there is a flagrant foul, and they do call it. So John Morant is going to the line, and he does hit the free throw. So it's 74-69 after they called that flagrant foul on D'Angelo Russell. He'll have another free throw, and he misses the second. So it's still 74-69. That would have put the Grizzlies up by 6 points if he had to hit both, but they're up by 5 as it stands because he split the free throws. 74-69. Both teams at 4 timeouts. 4:48 to go in the third quarter. Memphis 74, Los Angeles 69. Dylan Brooks to inbound to Desmond Bane. After all of that review, they did get the technical foul on D'Angelo Russell. Santi Aldama with the ball. He's being guarded by Rui Hachimura. He's trying to get to Morant. Morant drives in the lane, and Morant loses the basketball, and they call it off of Morant, and he is furious. He thinks the ball is off of Los Angeles, and I think it could have been. It did not look like a natural deflection, but they do give the ball back to Los Angeles. Schroeder in the lane, kicks to Hachimura, being guarded by Morant to Troy Brown. Troy Brown in the lane, kicks to Austin Reeves. Some good passing from Los Angeles. Reeves with the ball. That could have been a foul on Tillman, and they do get the foul on Tillman. Tillman is not happy, but I think it could have been a foul. He was trying to drive, Reeves was, and Tillman reached. That's where the foul was. You can't reach in like that across the body, and he got the foul call there. 4:16 to go in the third quarter. Reeves to inbound to Hachimura. Hachimura on the right wing, driving into the lane. And what a block from behind by Dylan Brooks. That's a really nice play there. 4:10 to go in the third quarter, and a block from behind Dylan Brooks on Rui Hachimura's shot. Oh, but they called a foul. I didn't know they called a foul on Dylan Brooks. It looked like it was a clean block, but they do call a foul, and Rui Hachimura will be at the line for 2 free throws. Maybe he got him on the arm, or maybe they called it on the body because it looked like he did get all ball. And Hachimura, he only has 2 points and 2 rebounds. He's not having his best game so far. He's had some big moments in this playoff series so far. He's had some big games, but he only has 3 points now after he does hit the first free throw. He'll have another free throw after this. 74-70, 4:10 to go in the third quarter. Hachimura, his second free throw is good as well. 74-71, 4:05 to go in the third quarter. Dylan Brooks with the basketball, bringing it up the floor. Ja Morant still in the game, still in a lot of pain, but he is trying to play through it. Morant, he was poked by Schroeder. It could have maybe been a foul there, but they don't call it. Morant in the lane, kicks to Aldama. Aldama fakes the three. Out to Luke Kennard for 3, and Kennard cannot make the shot. Hachimura with the rebound. Hachimura up the floor. Now over to Austin Reeves, to Anthony Davis. Schroeder in the lane, tries to get to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis tried to slam it home. He could not. Some contact there, but it was not called. Aldama for 3. He fakes it, though, drives in the lane, and he lays it off the glass. That's a really good play. Aldama had me fooled. It looked like he was going up for that 3 for sure, and he faked it, drove in the lane, and laid it in. That's a good play off glass. 76-71. Memphis over Los Angeles, 3:10 to go in the third. Reeves driving in the lane, and there's a foul called. It looks like Reeves is going to the line. Dylan Brooks does not like it there. He thought there was not a foul, but they do call a foul. Let's see on the replay. Reeves in the lane, and Reeves, I don't know. That's close. He might have got him a little bit, but it definitely could not have been called. I don't know if that was a foul. It's been some interesting calls on both sides for Memphis and Los Angeles. Some calls that you could say definitely couldn't have been called, but it is what it is. Austin Reeves, he misses the first free throw, though. He's got 13 points, and he also has 4 fouls, but he misses a crucial free throw there. You got to make your free throws in these big playoff games. Anthony Davis, he's going to the bench. LeBron James is subbing in. And I think there is a timeout on the floor. 3:09 to go in the third quarter, and we have a commercial break. This is a key game overall for the Memphis Grizzlies. If they cannot win this game, they will be down 3-1 to the Los Angeles Lakers, and it will more likely put their chances at winning this series at probably less than 10%. It'll be very low. They won't have a great chance. They'll have to win the next 3 games. And Ja Morant, he's already been through so much, injuries to his body, so much hurt and pain. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep continuing to go on in the series. He needs rest. I don't know. I don't know if that's even the biggest factor. I think Los Angeles is playing very confidently right now. And even though Memphis, if they're down 3-1, will have 2 of the last 3 games at home, they'll still have to win that game at Los Angeles in Game 6 if they want to be able to win this series. I don't know if they can do that. It's not over yet. You can come back from 3-1 if Memphis does lose, but Memphis really needs to win this game, and they're in pretty solid shape. They're up by 5 right now. Could be 4 after the free throw of Austin Reeves if he does hit it. But one thing for Memphis that they have done in this game is their intensity level has been so much better, and it has not just been when Game 3 where Ja Morant was the only one playing when his teammates were really struggling. Tonight, you're getting contributions specifically from Desmond Bane. He is playing some great basketball, and overall, the whole roster is just doing a lot of different things. For the Grizzlies, their teammates are really stepping up and helping Ja Morant. It's not having to be Morant scoring 45 points to win, like Jimmy Butler had to for Miami to get that win, having to score 56 points. I just feel like overall, Memphis's teammates are doing a great job. Morant's teammates are going out there and playing at a much higher level in this game. They're not getting contributions from everyone. Luke Kennard hasn't come in and done much. Tyus Jones is still struggling when he's come in. But Dylan Brooks has had some nice moments. Desmond Bane's had some nice moments. Santi Aldama hit a big shot a minute ago. So they're getting contributions from more of their teammates. And that is huge if you're a Memphis Grizzlies fan. For the Lakers, I think they're playing solid, but their defensive intensity at times has been a little weak. They've been good at moments. They definitely have not played a bad defensive game. But there have been a lot of lapses, and that has cost, the Lakers a lot of easy buckets for Memphis getting into the lane. It's very interesting. I think both teams have had defensive lapses. That's why this is a higher scoring game. But both these teams are really good on the offensive end, especially when they're, all playing well, all of the team for both teams. So I do think that makes a big difference. But still, you do want to see more defensive intensity. You don't want to see injury, but you want to see defensive intensity because that's how you win, an NBA title. Offenses matter. You have to have a great offense to be able to win an NBA title in 2023, but you still have to have defense. That's why I feel like Celtics have a great chance because Marcus Smart, just a great defender. Robert Williams, a great defender. But then they got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. They've got the offensive players. They have the defensive players. They have a great team. That doesn't mean they're going to win it all. Some other team could get it done. But you got to have defense to be able to win NBA playoff series. That's why the Thunder, even though they had a lot of offense this year with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, their defense is not there yet. They're going to have to get a lot better on the defensive side of the ball. That's why the Thunder are a few years away. But right now, you've got the Memphis Grizzlies up 76-271 over the Los Angeles Lakers. Austin Reeves will be at the line for a free throw to potentially cut at the 4. But another big thing has helped Memphis. They're showing all of the second chance points that the Grizzlies have gotten tonight, and they have had so many offensive putbacks. They've missed shots, and they've gotten the rebound and laid it in. That's been huge for Memphis. Offensive rebounds are very important, especially when you can convert off of them in the NBA and in college basketball as well. And Reeves, he does make the free throw, so it's 76-72. 3 to go in the third quarter. Ja Morant with the basketball, being guarded by Schroeder. Kicks to Dillon Brooks. Now over to David Roddy, who's had a couple of big shots as well in this game. Down low to Jaren Jackson. He misses the shot, and it's going back the other way for the Lakers. LeBron James into the lane. LeBron James kicks to Reeves. Reeves in the corner. Tries to get it down low to LeBron James, and there is a foul, I think, on the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know if they're in the bonus yet. So I don't know if LeBron James will be going to the line, but I think that they are. I think they do call a foul, and they are in the bonus. So Memphis will now be giving free throws the rest of the way in this third quarter to Los Angeles if they keep fouling. LeBron James, he's at the line for 2 free throws. He's got 12 points, 9 boards, 4 assists, 2 blocks. LeBron's playing solid. He's not having his best game in the world, but he's playing solid, and there's still another quarter for him to pad the stats. Got 13 points now, 76-73. Los Angeles is down by 3 points. As good as Memphis has done, they're only up by 3, and it could be 2 after this free throw. And LeBron, it is up, and it's good. So it's 76-74, and just like that, Los Angeles is only down by 2. Ja Morant bringing the ball off the floor, being guarded by Schroeder. Ja Morant, he has definitely been in a lot of pain. I cannot believe he's still out there after hurting his hand again. But he's still playing well, but he's going to have to hit some big shots if Memphis wants to win. He swings over to Brooks, and Dillon Brooks for 3, and there you go. Ja Morant's teammates giving him a lift again. Nice pass by Morant, nice shot by Dillon Brooks. 79-74, and Brooks has not gotten in trouble in this game. That's been huge. But I think they call another foul on Memphis. Maybe it was for a reach-in or a foul on a back cut screen, who knows, but it looks like there's more free throws for Los Angeles. So Memphis is getting frustrated with the fouls, and the Lakers will be shooting some more free throws. 2:16 to go in the third quarter, and Dennis Schroeder, who is a really good free throw shooter, if he can hit both of these, we'll cut it back to a 1-possession game. His first free throw is up, and it's good. 79-75. Back down to 4 points. Still a 2-possession game, but if he hits this next one, it'll be down to 3. Schroeder, his second free throw is up, and it's good as well. Really good free throw shooting by Dennis Schroeder. 2:16 to go in the third, 79-76. Memphis maintaining a 1-possession lead, up by 3. Dillon Brooks down the floor. Lakers are 8 of 10 at the free throw line this quarter. Memphis is 3 of 4. So Los Angeles has definitely been shooting a lot more free throws. Jaren Jackson to Ja Morant. Morant fakes a 3, kicks to Jackson on the left block. Being guarded by Hachimura. Kicks to Dillon Brooks for 3, and Brooks cannot repeat and hit another 3. Lakers back down the floor. Austin Reeves down the floor to LeBron. Kicks to Troy Brown in the corner. His 3 is off the mark, and Roddy with the rebound. Morant going back the other way. 1:40 to go in the third. Morant in the lane. Morant goes up strong, and do they call an offensive foul? I think they do call an offensive foul on Morant, and Morant's on the floor yet again. And they call an offensive foul on Morant. Ooh, that's close. LeBron James, he did step up and take the contact, but it doesn't really look like LeBron was set, though. I don't know. That could have gone either way. It's close, but they do call an offensive foul nonetheless, and it will be Lakers basketball down by 3. Austin Reeves has it to Hachimura. Hachimura misses the reverse layup. Luke Kennard with the rebound. Desmond Bane down the floor. He loses it, and the ball is off of the Lakers, so it will stay Grizzlies basketball. Connor Johnson's here. Thanks for being here. He says, Clint Moses, go Beavs. Got both the Beavers here tonight, and Clint Moses and Connor Johnson. Really appreciate you for stopping by, Connor. Thank you so much. 79-76. Desmond Bane driving in. Desmond Bane goes up, and his shot will not drop. It was so close, but it rolled off the rim. LeBron James back down the floor. LeBron James in the lane. Kicks to Rui Hachimura for 3, and it's off the mark. Desmond Bane with the board. Both teams are going cold from the offensive end. Under 1 to go in the third quarter. Desmond Bane being guarded by Troy Brown. Desmond Bane goes up strong, and his shot again goes off the rim. His last 2 layups have just not gone in. Austin Reeves down the floor. Kicks to LeBron, and LeBron, he lays it in. 79-78, and the Lakers have cut it to 1. This is the closest they've had it in a while. Connor Johnson says, hey, Jeffrey, your resolve will pay off. Stay at it, my friend. I really appreciate that, Connor Johnson. I really do. You guys are all awesome and make this worth it for sure. And definitely, I'm going to keep on grinding and keep on trying to do these lives and videos, and I really appreciate you for being here. You guys make it worth it for sure. John Morant down the lane. He lays it in 81-78. But thanks so much for the compliment, Connor Johnson, and thanks so much for the support. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. 18 seconds left in the third. LeBron down the lane, kicks to Rui Hachimura in the corner, and he knocks it down. 81-81, 12 seconds to go in the third quarter, and the offense is starting to pick up for both teams. John Morant down the floor. John Morant has tied Memphis Grizzlies with the Lakers. In the lane, Morant, John Morant dunks it home with 1 second left into the third quarter, and that is an unbelievable play by John Morant. He is hurting. He's in a lot of pain, and he goes down the lane and flushes it home with 0.2 left on the shot clock. That is a sick play by John Morant. Unbelievable. Connor Johnson, I guess I should have waited for the break live on. My bad. Good multitasking, though. Oh, you're good, man. I really appreciate it. Your comment is so awesome. Just so glad you're here. 100%. You're good. It's been a fantastic game, but I really appreciate all your compliments because it definitely helps, for sure. You guys are awesome. I mean, 100%. If it wasn't for you guys, it would not make these streams as awesome as they are. You guys are awesome for sure and really appreciate it. But you definitely are right. We got a great game going on right now. 83-81. Memphis over Los Angeles. And it's going to be very interesting. Connor Johnson is, I'm going to have to tune in. I really appreciate you for being here. You don't want to miss this game. I mean, we've had some great NBA action. Earlier tonight, you had the Miami Heat behind 56 points from Jimmy Butler beating the Milwaukee Bucks. And they're up 3-1 in that series. Yes, Giannis has been hurt for a lot of that series, but still unbelievable what you are seeing from Miami up 3-1 in that series. And they have a chance to win the series. And then you've got right now the Memphis Grizzlies up 83-81 on the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Memphis Grizzlies, they need this game to tie the series up 2-2. If they go down 3-1, it will be extremely difficult for Memphis to be able to win the series. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it would definitely hurt their chances for sure. Connor Johnson says, you hear anything about Fox's injury, like the beam? I hope he's okay. I've definitely heard that his finger is hurt for sure. I heard he's doubtful, I think, for the next game. But if he's not able to play, then that just destroys Sacramento's chances. I hope he'll be okay and he'll be able to play. But you definitely don't want him playing if he's not 100%. But it's going to be very interesting for sure. But I do think that he is doubtful and more likely will not play. But that definitely does not mean that he won't. It's going to be interesting for sure. I do think that De'Aaron Fox, if he's not able to play, it makes their chances of winning really low, and it will definitely help the Warriors, out in that series, potentially be able to win it, even though the game will be at Sacramento in Game 5. It's going to be very interesting. But if De'Aaron Fox can't play, that's a tough blow for Sacramento. And still, you've seen in a lot of these NBA series, so many players are getting hurt. A lot of players have been getting hurt, and that's been impacting these series. You look at Kawhi Leonard, Paul George for the Clippers. You look at Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo for the Heat. You look at Giannis, he's missed so many games for the Bucks. You look at Ja Morant for Memphis. So many players have been hurt. It goes on and on. Joel Embiid's out right now for the 76ers, even though they've already won the first round series, but they need him back. Injuries have been an issue for so many teams, and it's just really causing a lot of problems with these teams trying to be able to advance in these playoffs. Connor Johnson, yeah, it'd be tough for sure. You definitely hope to see, a healthy team overall for the Kings. And they're showing, you've got Prince Harry, Meghan Markle in the crowd, Kim Kardashian. Man, you've got a lot of people out there in the crowd. Adam Sandler watching this game. It's LA. I mean, you're going to have a lot of celebrities and famous people out in the stands for sure, but we have got a ball game, and the Lakers, the home team, are down by 2. Ja Morant in Memphis is trying to spoil the party for the Los Angeles Lakers. 11:50 to go in the fourth quarter, and Memphis up by 2, 83-81. Desmond Bane has had an incredible game helping out Ja Morant, potentially help Memphis get this win. Desmond Bane in the lane, kicks over to Xavier Tillman. Tillman guarded by LeBron, back to Desmond Bane. 3 on the shot clock, and he loses the ball off his foot. Or do they call a kick ball on the Lakers? They might have called a kick ball. So I think it will remain Memphis basketball. That is a good break for Memphis. Desmond Bane to inbound the ball with 14 seconds on the shot clock. 11:39 to go in the fourth. He kicks to Tyus Jones, who's in the game. Tyus Jones has really been struggling in this series for Memphis. Has not had a big impact. Desmond Bane kicks in the corner to David Roddy, and David Roddy's 3 is just a hair short. It almost went in. LeBron James down the floor, spin move in the lane, and what a block by Tillman. Unbelievable. Nanis is still hanging in there. Really appreciate you for staying up and watching the game. I really appreciate your support for being here. I really, really do. It's awesome, and this game has been fantastic. But the Grizzlies are in trouble now because Austin Reeves just hit a 3 in the corner. 84-83, 11 to go in the fourth. This game's going back and forth, but really appreciate you for being here, Nan. I really appreciate it. 17 points and 4 assists for Austin Reeves. Tillman to Roddy again in the corner, and Roddy is 0 for 2 in his last 2 attempts from 3 in the corner. LeBron James down the floor again, and the Lakers up by 1. The crowd is back on their feet. 10:30 to go in the fourth quarter. This game has been a great game so far. Hopefully it ends well, whoever wins. Really close. Rui Hachimura in the lane takes a tough mid-range 2, and his shot is in and out. LeBron James tries to tap it up twice. He misses, and he misses again. He looks like he might have got hit in the head. I don't know if he was trying to draw a foul there or not, but hopefully he's okay. Desmond Bane down the floor. Kicks to Roddy. To Tyus Jones. Back to Roddy in the lane. To Tillman. Tillman misses the shot, and Jaren Jackson gets the rebound, and Memphis lays it in 85-84, and the Memphis Grizzlies just keep on getting offensive rebounds. This will be a big reason why they win this game, the amount of offensive rebounds they just keep on getting. It's incredible how hard they're working on the glass. 9:50 to go in the fourth. Austin Reeves in the lane, and a block by Jaren Jackson. What a block. 9:40 to go in the fourth. Roddy down the lane to Tillman. Tillman goes up strong, and it's 87-84. Memphis up by 3 over the Lakers, and timeout Los Angeles. Manitas DePedro's here. Go Suns. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you for being here. But we have got a ball game. 87-84. The Memphis Grizzlies are up by 3. And can they steal a win on the road over the Los Angeles Lakers and be able to tie the series 2-2, just like the Kings and the Warriors? That will be awesome for the longevity of this series to potentially get 6 or 7 games out of it. You definitely want to see these series go all the way. They've been a lot of fun. And we have a lot of NBA playoff action left to go. And we're just getting started in the first round. But this has been an incredible game between Memphis and Los Angeles. Much better than Game 3 when Memphis just struggled out of the gate and was playing from behind the entire time. And Ja Morant had 22 straight points, at 45 points to get Memphis back in it, but they were not able to win. They could not get close enough. But in this game, Memphis was down by 15 at one point as well, but they have come back, and they are up 87-84 over Los Angeles. 9:41 to go in the fourth quarter. Memphis could get this win. And if they do, it's because Ja Morant is stuck in there, even though he is in a world of pain. Still playing trying to at a high level. Desmond Bane has been solid. Dylan Brooks has hit some big shots. They've gotten enough contributions all around, but this game is not over yet by a long shot. Los Angeles, they got the home crowd on their side. Los Angeles, they have, a healthy team overall, much healthier than Memphis with John Morant's injury and Steven Adams being out. Now, Anthony Davis is a bit banged up, but he's hanging in there as well, trying to deal with the pain. We are in playoff time, and if you are able to play and you're not too hurt, you got to go out there and play. This is when it counts. This is all the work that you put in the regular season to get to this point. It all comes down to this. These games matter more than anything else, just like March Madness does in college basketball. The only difference is you get 7 games instead of 1. So if you lose, you still have a chance. But if Memphis does not win this game, they'll be down 3-1. And they won't be mathematically out of the series. They won't be done. But their chances of advancing are really slim. And they were a 2 seed. They are the favorite in this series. They're supposed to win this series. And Los Angeles, I think they're better than a 7 seed. LeBron and Anthony Davis both missed time this season. And you also had, the trades that they got D'Angelo Russell. They got Rui Hachimura. Those trades came mid-season, so they're a better team now than they were at the beginning of the season. So Los Angeles is definitely better than a 7 seed, I would think. But Memphis is still the 2 seed. They still had a great year. They really need to win this series. But it's going to be very interesting for sure. Los Angeles doing everything they possibly can to win this series as well. It's going to be very interesting what happens. I think both teams deserve this win tonight as of now. But who can go on that last run or who can hit that final shot to get this win if it goes down to the wire? It should be really interesting. But I really appreciate all you guys for being here tonight. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Share the stream out on social media. But more importantly, I really appreciate all you guys for being here. It means so much, all of you guys for being here. And we have a great game to boot as well. 87-84, Memphis over Los Angeles. The game is about to start up yet again. And we've got more NBA action continuing all throughout this week. So many high-level games, so many high-level playoff series. It should be a lot of fun, and I hopefully will be back to do some more streams very soon. Rui Hachimura to Austin Reeves to LeBron James. James misses the 3. He's not able to knock it down. But they do get an offensive rebound for the Lakers. They have not had many of those. Memphis has done a good job on the glass, but the Lakers get the ball back. And Anthony Davis, he misses the floater. Memphis with the rebound, 87-84. 9:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Tyus Jones with the basketball. And Anthony Davis only has 4 points and 7 rebounds. A big reason why Memphis is being able to be in this lead. Anthony Davis is really struggling from the field. I think he is banged up as well. But still, that is very tough overall for him to only have 4 points. He's really struggling all around. He has been definitely not having his best floor game. But then Memphis misses on the other end. The Lakers are going down the floor. LeBron James, he has the basketball. Both teams are only 7 of 33 for Memphis, 7 of 25 for the Lakers from 3. Both teams are really struggling from the three-point line. 8:50 to go in the fourth quarter. LeBron James, he is being guarded by Xavier Tillman, a matchup we have seen very often in this playoff series. LeBron misses another 3, and the ball is out of bounds off of the Lakers. Memphis basketball, 87-84, 8:40 to go in the fourth. LeBron James, he is really cold from 3. He is really struggling to shoot the 3 ball after a pretty good start to the game from the three-point line for him. Both teams have not been hitting their threes. Probably be a wise idea to go into the lane and get some layups, maybe draw some fouls. 8:30 to go in the fourth. John Morant bringing the basketball up the floor, being guarded by Dennis Schroeder. Kicks it to Desmond Bane, who's had a great game. He goes up and he lays it in again. Desmond Bane just keeps on scoring. 89-84, Memphis up by 5. 8:20 to go in the fourth. Dennis Schroeder down the floor for the Los Angeles Lakers. Schroeder still driving in, takes the floater, and he knocks it down. 89-86. 8 to go in the fourth. John Morant bringing it up the floor, being guarded by Dennis Schroeder. John Morant still hurting, but in a lot of pain, but playing still at a fairly high level, given all he's got. But there is an illegal screen on Memphis. That is a really tough call for the Memphis Grizzlies. You definitely do not want to see calls at this point in the game that are on silly plays like illegal screens. If you want a foul call, it's to prevent a bucket or because you're just playing really hard and you unfortunately get a foul, but you do not want to see it on an illegal screen, and they call that illegal screen on Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson, he ran right into Schroeder. I mean, that's not a good foul. Why did he do that? I don't think he meant to, but Schroeder's in a lot of pain, and hopefully Schroeder's okay. 7:57 to go in the fourth, and we have seen so many players banged up and injured in these playoff series. Jackson, I see that the Prince of England, Kim Kardashian, and Adam Sandler at the Lakers game tonight. For sure, it's definitely going to be a lot of famous people when you're in Los Angeles. Adam Sandler, Kim Kardashian for sure, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. It's crazy. But they're showing right now Dylan Brooks hitting LeBron James, and that was a flagrant 2. Will they call a flagrant 2 on Jaren Jackson? I'm not sure. It's going to be really interesting to see what they decide to call there. I'm not sure if they will call a flagrant 2 or not, but it is definitely something that we are seeing very common of. And Desmond Bane, he elbowed Anthony Davis earlier. We're seeing so many players getting hit down low. You don't want to see that. You don't want to say these players are doing it on purpose. I don't know if they are overall, but it's just really interesting. They're reviewing it. It's a very quick review, I think. Now they're still reviewing. I'm not 100% sure if they're going to call it or not. They're definitely looking at it, though. And Jack says, Dennis Schroeder is hurt. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I really hope Schroeder's going to be okay, but he definitely got hit down low by Jaren Jackson. And we've been seeing a lot of that in these playoffs. You don't want to say these players are playing dirty. You never want to say that. But there's been a lot of hits to areas that are not really basketball plays. And that's not what you want to see. You want to see effort being given by the basketball players to play hard and try to slow down the other team. But you don't want to see hits taken in areas that there should be hits in. I mean, there's been a lot of that in these playoffs. There's been tons of hits. I don't think Jaren Jackson meant to do it per se, but it definitely was a questionable play there. 7:57 to go in the fourth quarter, and that just took all the air out of the sails. We had an up and down game, back and forth. Players playing at a high level, but this game has slowed down to a crawl, 89-86. After the review, there's been a lot of reviews in this game. I think they are keeping Jaren Jackson on the floor. I don't think they're giving him a flagrant 2. I don't think it was. I mean, he did get him. That is an offensive foul, but is it a flagrant 2? Probably not. But it definitely is something to be looked at because we're seeing more and more of these plays being done, like James Harden getting ejected, Dylan Brooks as well. So they reviewed it, but Jaren Jackson can stay in the game. 7:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Dennis Schroeder with the ball being guarded by Ja Morant. 9 to go on the shot clock. Schroeder whips it over to LeBron James. James driving in the lane. James kicks to Anthony Davis for a long 2, and Anthony Davis finally hits a big shot, 89-88, and Anthony Davis has his 6th point of the game. 7:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Xavier Tillman kicks over to Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane drives in the lane. He's got Austin Reeves on him. And you have Desmond Bane for 2. 22 for the 2-pointers is Jackson. And Desmond Bane has been great in this game. He's got 26 points and 6 rebounds on 10 of 22 shooting. Schroeder in the lane. And is there a foul on Morant? I'm not sure. Do they call the ball off of Memphis? Still will stay Lakers ball. I'm not 100% sure. But that was a good shot by Anthony Davis. And then you've got Desmond Bane on the other and taking the ball down the floor and hitting that mid-range pull-up. They just called it off of Morant. Schroeder, he misses a 3. Dylan Brooks with the board. 91-88. Memphis up by 3. 6:50 to go in the fourth. Desmond Bane again driving. Kicks to Morant in the corner. And Morant's 3 is in and out. He had the shot, but it did not drop. And the ball is off of the Memphis Grizzlies. So it will be Los Angeles Lakers basketball yet again. 6:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Memphis maintaining that slim 3.1 possession lead. We've got a close game that seems to be going down to the wire. 6:35 to go in the fourth. Austin Reeves with the basketball. He drives in the lane on Desmond Bane. He misses the shot. And they call a foul on Dylan Brooks, I think. Dylan Brooks is upset because that was a late whistle. You never want to see a late whistle. If the refs are going to call a foul, you would like to see it earlier on in that play, but he drives into the lane. I think they might have called it on Desmond Bane. It was on Desmond Bane instead. It was a foul on him. So Reeves at the line, and he hits the first. Interesting call there how late it was, but 91-89, and the Lakers could cut their deficit to 1 if Reeves hit the second. He has 18 points, 4 assists, and a steal. He's playing some solid basketball. He's 6 of 13 from the field in this game, and he hits the second. 91-90, and we have a 1-point game. Ja Morant with the basketball still surprisingly somehow into the game for Memphis after hurting his hand again, but he's still toughing it out. Austin Reeves for the 2 free throws, says Jackson. 100%. Still appreciate you for being here, Jackson. Really do. Thanks for being here. And I think they do call a foul down low. Is there a foul on the Lakers? I think there is. And maybe are the Lakers in the bonus yet? I'm not 100% sure. 6:16 to go in the fourth quarter. 91-90. Oh, there might have been a technical foul. I don't know what they called it on or who they called it on. But Desmond Bane, he hits the free throw. So they called a technical foul. 6:16 to go in the fourth. There's been a lot of technical fouls in this game. A lot of chippiness. Maybe there was some chippiness the referees did not like with one player. But now Memphis will be inbounding the basketball. 6:10 to go in the fourth. 92-90. Memphis up by 2 after that technical foul free throw. Ja Morant trying to drive on Austin Reeves. He kicks it to Tillman. Back to Morant. Back to Tillman. Tillman misses the shot. He had it. He had the look. There was only 1 second on the shot clock, and Xavier Tillman, he had the floater, but it went in and out. But I do think they call a foul on D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell did not think that he fouled, but they called it on him. Ooh, that's close. He had his hand straight up, but maybe he got him a bit with the arm, and Xavier Tillman is going to be the benefactor of that call. He's got 10 points, 5 boards, and 4 assists. He's outplaying his averages this season, having a solid game. His first free throw is up, and Tillman knocks it down. 93-90. And Memphis is now back up by 3, and one more free throw by Xavier Tillman could put Memphis back up by 2 scores, which would be huge for their confidence here. 6:01 to go in the fourth. Tillman's second free throw is up and good as well. 94-90. Are the Lakers in a bit of trouble? They're down by 4. It's not a big deficit, but still, Memphis up by 4 points. 5:50 to go in the fourth. Schroeder in the lane. He loses it out of bounds, and it's a turnover for Los Angeles. A mistake by Dennis Schroeder. He was trying to drive into the lane, and he turns the basketball over right there. So 5:50 to go in the fourth quarter. 11 turnovers for the Lakers, 8 for the Grizzlies. Memphis with the ball up by 4. Desmond Bane knocked over Austin Reeves. They did not call a foul there. And Anthony Davis down the floor, and he lays it in. But they call an offensive foul on Anthony Davis for pushing off on Desmond Bane. Erase that 2-point bucket. That's a big play right there. What a steal by Anthony Davis on Desmond Bane. But then Desmond Bane recovered, and Anthony Davis pushed off a bit on that play. And they're going to get him for the offensive foul. Jackson says, man, what an incredible steal by Anthony Davis. Insane that they called that there. 94-90, 5:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Ja Morant with the basketball. And again, Memphis is in pretty good shape right now, up by 4 on the road. They have the basketball. Ja Morant dribbling around, takes a step back 2. His shot is off the mark, and another offensive rebound for Memphis. They've had tons of them. Desmond Bane for 3, and Desmond Bane now has 29 points. He knocks down the 3. 97-90. Memphis is up by 7. What a game by Desmond Bane. He has been fantastic. And they call a foul on Jared Jackson. He is frustrated, but there is no bonus yet for Memphis, so it will stay Los Angeles basketball. But what an incredible shot by Desmond Bane. And you got to love the effort by the Memphis Grizzlies on the glass. They have got tons of offensive rebounds. D'Angelo Russell swings it into Anthony Davis. 5 to go in the fourth. Back to Russell. Austin Reeves. He's driving the lane. Kicks to Russell again for a deep 3. And Russell cans it. 97-93. 4:50 to go in the fourth quarter, and we have a 4-point game. D'Angelo Russell's up to 11 points and 3 assists. This has been a thriller. Memphis basketball, 4:40 to go in the fourth. Bane again into the lane. He loses the ball out of bounds, and the ball is off of LeBron. Via Ohio State says, what's up? Only Talk Sport. I just turned the game on, looking like it's going to be a great finish. Thanks for being here, Via Ohio State. Really appreciate it, and I agree with you. This game looks to have a great finish. It is a fantastic game. Memphis was down by 15 points earlier in the game, but they've come back taking the lead, and they have a great chance to win. But really appreciate you for stopping by. Jack says, honestly, Via Ohio State could go into overtime. You never know. The Ohio State, the Lakers are going to have to finish the game on a run. I agree with you as well. The Lakers are down by 4 right now. They're going to have to hit some big shots. A lot of contact there, and I think they call a foul on Desmond Bane. Is Memphis in the bonus yet? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe not yet, but Memphis is definitely flirting with getting in the bonus, and you don't want to send the Lakers to the free throw line. They've had several fouls in the last couple minutes. The Ohio State says, how about the Heat and Jimmy Bucket scoring 56 points to come back and beat the Bucks and take a 3-1 lead? Bucks are in extreme trouble. I don't see Bucks coming back to win the series. Yeah, that's 100% insane right there with what Jimmy Butler did. Lakers lose the ball out of bounds, but it was off the Grizzlies, so it will stay Lakers ball. But I agree with you. Jimmy Butler single-handedly got that win. It feels like even though he got some contributions from Bam and he got some contributions from Caleb Marr, but he had 56 points. And even though Giannis was back, you still got the win for the Heat, and they're up 3-1. They could really win that series. And D'Angelo Russell hits a big three for the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Lakers have cut it to 1. 4:18 to go in the fourth. Will Memphis be able to hold on, or will Los Angeles take the potential upset victory for Memphis on the road away from them? And the Lakers will be able to be up 3-1, and they might have this series in hand. The Memphis Grizzlies, this is probably the most important 4 minutes and 18 seconds they're going to have in a long time. They really need to come back and be able to win this game, or be able to keep this lead, per se, and be able to win this game, or they'll be in a lot of trouble. But I do agree with you, Ohio State. It's going to be tough for the Bucks to come back, even with Giannis back. And even though Miami is without Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo, they've got a good basketball team when Jimmy Butler is playing the way he is. And you can tell he's on a mission. He wants to win the series. But can they be able to advance further if they beat the Bucks? I don't know, because they have a lot of injuries. And I don't know if Jimmy Bucket's going to be able to keep doing what he's doing. But what a performance from Jimmy Butler. 56 points, and they were able to get the win. It was insane. The Ohio State, it looks like D'Lo's doing a good job at that for sure. The Lakers are trying to stay in this game, and they've cut it to 1. Yeah, D'Lo just hit 2 huge back-to-back threes, 1-point game. Really appreciate both you guys for being here, but 100%. D'Angelo Russell is a really good addition for Los Angeles. He's a solid player. He was good at Minnesota, but he's over now at Los Angeles, and he's playing really well. He's doing a lot of big things. You know, he's been a primary guard because most of the focus is on LeBron and Anthony Davis, and he's going out there playing at a high level. He's doing a really good job overall, and he's definitely a guy that can score points, and he's hit 2 big threes, and he could be a big reason why the Lakers do end up getting this win if they can pull it out. Jackson v. Ohio State, looks like D'Lo took your advice about how LA needs to finish the game on a run. 100%. Memphis was up by 7, but the one thing about the NBA, we've seen it 100 times, a million times. What do we always see? Leads are not safe in the NBA. They're not safe in college basketball, because we saw the Iowa Hawkeyes come back and beat Michigan State, and then they're down 13 points with a minute 30 left in the game and won in overtime. But unless you see some rare instances like that, the NBA, no leads are safe. You could be up by 10 points and still lose if you're up by 10 points with a minute 30 in the game if the other team can go on a quick 12-0 run and you don't score. The NBA, players can score in a heartbeat, and no lead is safe. Unless you're up 15 points with 10 seconds left, you're not safe. You can lose your lead. And Memphis was only up by 7. Los Angeles hit 2 big threes, and now it's back down to 1. The Ohio State says if Heat hold on to the series, will be the first time an 8 seed has beaten a 1 seed since the 76ers beat my Bulls when we were the 1 seed in 2012 when Derrick Rose tore his ACL and MCL. Yeah, that was so bad for Derrick Rose, and that first injury really started to hurt his career because he was awesome. And he still played well after that, but he was never the same. He was so good before that injury, and I agree with you. It's so tough for an 8 seed to be a 1 seed, just like you look at, in college basketball, 16 seed beating a 1 seed. It's not as extreme an 8 seed in the NBA beating a 1, but it's tough. Like an 8 seed beating a 1 seed in college basketball, it's really tough to do, but it can happen. And like you said, it definitely could happen with the Heat beating the Bucks. That would be insane overall, but could they go further? It'll be tough for sure because they're not healthy. Jackson v. Ohio State, yeah, Derrick Rose hasn't been the same since. 100%, completely agree. The Ohio State says, yeah, people forget that Rose is still in the NBA as a deep bench player on the Knicks, but if he stayed healthy, he could have been an all-time great. I agree with you. He is still in the NBA, and kudos and credit to him for still toughing it out and playing in the NBA even now. Like you said, I think I remember seeing him with the Knicks. I've seen him a few times this year. He doesn't play too much, but he does come off the bench some, but it is tough. And like you said, he could have been one of the best ever if he had not got hurt. It's so unfortunate. So many players' careers got derailed due to injury. I mean, I know Victor Oladipo might not be as good as Derrick Rose, but you look at a player like him. He was a 2-time All-Star with the Pacers. He was great. And then he's had, knee after knee injury, and he got hurt yet again for the Heat. It's really derailed his career, and he's nowhere near the same player he used to be. He's still a good defender, but he just cannot score, and he doesn't have that offensive burst because his knees keep giving out on him. It's so sad. Jackson, so true to via Ohio State. Via Ohio State, what do you think of Kawhi getting injured again? You think Kawhi should just retire? Well, he's too good to quit right now. I mean, he put up 40 in one of the games for the Clippers against the Suns. But unfortunately, he does get hurt a lot. Paul George has been hurt a lot. Both of them have been hurt when it matters the most for the Clippers. That's why they haven't been able to advance in the playoffs. One of them has always been hurt. Now they're both hurt. And that's why they're not going to be able to advance in this playoff. I think that they really could have had a chance. They have Eric Gordon now. They have, some solid players. They got Bones Highland. They got Norman Powell. They've got, Zubac. They've got some decent players that are around them. But unfortunately, it's just there's two stars, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, keep getting hurt. The Ohio State said he is too good, but the number of injuries is just alarming. I agree with you. I just don't think he can give it up now. But like you said, if he keeps getting hurt eventually, maybe it will be wise to retire. But I do agree with you. Both players are really been hurt a lot for the Clippers. Been very tough for them. Jaren Jackson down low. His layup barely misses going in. It does not fall. He had the layup, but it just could not drop. Now D'Angelo Russell for another three, and he hits another one. D'Angelo Russell, 99-97, 3:50 to go in the fourth, and he hit another three. He's hit the last three shots for the Lakers. 9 points this quarter, all on three, 17 points in the game. And Ohio State says Russell is on fire for sure. Desmond Bane, though, on the other end. Desmond Bane with the silencer, 99-99. He's got 31 points. 32 points, actually. 12-24 from the field. 3 of 8 from the three-point line. 3 of 20 overall. What a game. 3:20 left in the fourth quarter. This is insane. 99-99. D'Angelo Russell in the lane again. His shot is off the mark. Memphis with the rebound. Jaren Jackson with the board. Memphis done a great job on the glass, but what shots by D'Angelo Russell? And then you had Desmond Bane hit a shot. This is insane. Desmond Bane in the lane again, being guarded by LeBron James. Out to John Morant. Into the lane. Morant flails, loses the ball out of bounds. And it will stay in Memphis basketball. 3 to go in the fourth. The Ohio State's Grizzlies have to win this game. Lakers win this game. Lakers are winning the series. I agree with you yet again. You are spot on again and again tonight, the Ohio State. You're 100% correct. If the Lakers win, they got the series more likely to be up 3-1. Grizzlies have to get it done. Bane misses the three in the corner. Another offensive rebound. Bane again in the corner. He misses again, and the ball is over the backboard, and it is Lakers basketball. 2:51 to go in the fourth. It's 99-99. And the Memphis Grizzlies are in a little bit of trouble because the Lakers are getting the ball back. And to your point, the Ohio State, the Grizzlies have to win this game. The Lakers, if they win, they'll have a great chance to win the series up 3-1. They're 10 of 30 from three. The Grizzlies are 8 of 37. Both teams are struggling from the three-point line, but especially Memphis. LeBron James driving into the lane. He loses the basketball out of bounds, but it will be off of the Grizzlies. 2:32 to go in the fourth quarter, and we've got a thriller going on right now in the Western Conference first round. NBA playoffs, 99-99. Reeves in the corner. His shot is an air ball. Bad shot there. Morant down the floor. Morant all the way to the lane. Why does Morant do this? Why is Morant always doing that? He could have got hurt again. The Ohio State said it as well. Morant could have gotten injured again on that play. What is he doing? And he landed on LeBron James' head as well. Hopefully they're both okay, but what is Morant doing? There is no way Morant is going to have a long NBA career. There's just no way. He takes flight too much and he gets hurt. Oh, and they called an offensive foul. That was a charge. That makes it even worse for Morant. LeBron James drew the charge, so it's Lakers basketball. 10:15 to go in the fourth quarter. D'Angelo Russell kicks over to Dennis Schroeder. Anthony Davis back to Russell for three, and Russell cannot hit a fourth three. He shoots it again, and he misses another one. That one went in and out. Anthony Davis goes up, and he misses, and there is finally a foul with 2:02 to go in the fourth quarter, and Anthony Davis will have a couple of free throws to potentially put the Lakers in front. I cannot believe John Morant, though. You just cannot do that. Jackson says Lakers are pretty good at rebound. That's helpful for sure. Both teams have done a good job on the glass. I would even argue Memphis has done an even better job, but I agree with you, Jackson. The Lakers have been doing a good job, especially late in this game at rebounding it. And Anthony Davis, he only has 6 points and 7 rebounds. Now he has 7 points. He has had a quiet game. I think he has been banged up as well. But still, he is doing some solid contributions overall for the Lakers, and he's done just enough to help the team out, especially with great performances from D'Angelo Russell, LeBron James, and some of their other players. But his first free throw is good, and his second free throw is up, and his second free throw is in and out. 100-99, 150 to go in the fourth quarter. Memphis basketball, and they are down 1, and they really need to win this game. John Morant with the basketball, almost getting hurt yet again with crazy stunts like Evel Knievel. Desmond Bane in the lane, and they call a foul on D'Angelo Russell. The Ohio State says amazing Lakers are winning as nobody has over 20 points for the Lakers. Lakers do have a really balanced scoring night, which is great to see. You love to see the balance with a team because that's team basketball. That's how you have a lot of success in big games like this. That's how you have success being able to go far in the playoffs because you have balanced scoring. The Lakers are doing a great job. But D'Angelo Russell just fouled out. That is a problem there. He was playing really well. But I agree with you. The balanced scoring is awesome. With Memphis, you saw John Morant at 45, and they lost the other night. Now Desmond Bane is in the 30s, and they could lose again. So they're getting a lot of scoring production from their better players, but they're not getting a lot of scoring production from across their entire team. That's what you want to see. So I agree with you. That is good for the Lakers. But Desmond Bane with 33 points, make that 34. Memphis Grizzlies are back in front, 101-100, 140 to go in the fourth quarter. Really appreciate everybody for being here down the stretch of this game. We've got a good finish on our hands, 101-100, 130 to go in the fourth. Dennis Schroeder with the basketball, driving on John Morant. He goes up strong, and a block by Jaren Jackson. Jackson's AD for the free, and the other free was just a bit outside, and he says John Morant for the block. It's insane. It's definitely a lot of crazy action going on here. 101-100, and the Lakers had the basketball. 5 seconds on the shot clock. LeBron driving, taking, almost like he's saying take the mid-range, pass it to Hachimura, and he misses the shot, and Memphis with the basketball. 1:15 to go in the fourth, and the Grizzlies are up by 1. Can Memphis hold on for the victory? They have to have this game. John Morant at the top of the key. John Morant driving into the lane. He goes up strong, and he is fouled. And John Morant will have a couple of free throws here. That is huge. John Morant is trying to lead his Memphis Grizzlies team to a victory. Been taking tons of contact. He's been getting banged up everywhere, but he'll have a couple of free throws here. You can tell he's in a lot of pain. He had 24 points in the fourth quarter in game 3, but he's got no points in the fourth quarter so far in this game, but he finally scores his first fourth quarter point. 102-100. 104 to go in the fourth. Ohio State Morant has to make some adjustments on how he plays to avoid future injury. He needs to continue working on upper body strength, also confidence, athleticism. And Morant misses the second free throw. 102-100, but I agree with you. Morant cannot continue to play the way he is. He cannot take the amount of contact to his body, fall into the floor. He just can't do that. He is eventually going to hurt his way out of the NBA. He's going to injure his body, and he's not going to be able to be in the NBA anymore. And he's such a great player. You do not want to see him get knocked out of the NBA. Austin Reeves, though, for 2 for the Lakers. What a play by the Lakers. Austin Reeves drove in the lane, laid it in. He's got 21 points. Jack says John makes the free and misses the other. Austin Reeves has been fantastic. I agree. But 102-102. And Morant misses on the other, and he falls hard to the floor again, but I think he's getting up. 28 seconds to go. 102-102. LeBron James with the basketball dribbling with John Morant on him. LeBron, 19 seconds left. 5 seconds on the shot clock. James is driving. He goes up with it, kicks to Rui Hachimura. What a block by Jaren Jackson. On the other end, John Morant down the floor, kicks to Desmond Bane, and Desmond Bane lays it in. 104-102, 6 seconds left in the fourth. Unbelievable. That is insane right there. What a pass by John Morant. Jackson, John Morant, for what I hope is the game-winning assist. You definitely want the Grizzlies to get this win, but what a pass by John Morant to Desmond Bane. And the Memphis Grizzlies are leading 104-102 with 6 seconds left. this would be an insane ending here. But thanks for being here, everybody. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Share the stream out on social media. But more importantly, thanks for being here, everyone that's been here tonight. We got a fantastic finish here, 104 to 102. 6 seconds left in the game, and the Memphis Grizzlies have a 2-point lead. Can Memphis hold on and tie this series? The Ohio State's Austin Reeves is him. I remember him saying that at the end of the game, one laughing a lot. He kept saying, I'm him over and over again. That's funny. I mean, hey, he was undrafted. No one believed in him. Coming out of Oklahoma as an undrafted free agent, so I definitely understand why he is so excited to play well. But, I mean, he is playing some really solid basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers as an undrafted player, one of the best undrafted players in the NBA, probably along with Fred VanVleet, who's number one, and Laguntz Dort. He's been solid as well. But what a finish we have on our hands, 104 to 102. The Lakers are down by 2. Can the Lakers find a way to tie or take the lead here, or will they lose this game and Memphis will be able to get the win, a win they desperately need to be able to extend their chances in this playoff series? 6 seconds left. Schroeder inbounds the ball to LeBron James. 5 seconds to go. 3 seconds. LeBron James goes up. LeBron James lays it in with 0.8 seconds left. 104-104. Unbelievable. LeBron James, clutch. 0.8 seconds left, and he drives into the lane and lays it in. 104-104, and we might be going to overtime if Memphis can't score. This is insane. Look at LeBron James, vintage LeBron in the lane by Xavier Tillman, lays it in off the glass. That was an incredible shot by LeBron James. Unbelievable. Go Tigers says, come on, Memphis, down with the Lakers. Well, they had a great shot. They were up by 2 points with 6 seconds, but LeBron James said, not so fast, my friend, as Lee Corso would say in football. He lays it in up off the glass, and it's 104 to 104. 0.8 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and we might be having overtime to continue this spectacular game. That is a fantastic play by LeBron James. That is clutch. That is a veteran player, one of the best players of all time, just going out there, going off of the dribble and making an incredible play to tie this game. 0.8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Memphis was up by 2 with 6 seconds left, but we might have some overtime. Jackson's and LeBron ties it and sends it to overtime. Well, there's still 0.8 seconds on the shot clock, but more than likely it will be overtime if Memphis cannot do anything with it with 0.8. We have seen some crazier things before. Dylan Brooks to inbound for the Grizzlies. To John Morant. He's got a mid-range shot, but Anthony Davis blocks that thing out of here, and it's 104 to 104, end of regulation. Man, what a game. The Ohio State said, what a shot by LeBron. Most people don't believe, but LeBron is some of the best clutch shooting stat percentages in NBA history. I agree with you. He hits big shots. The greatest players hit big shots. And John Morant, he had a good look there, but Anthony Davis erased it. Man, what a basketball game. The Ohio State said, that shot the ML Lakers went in, but it was too late. It's incredible. Jack says, Anthony Davis for the block. The Ohio State's LeBron made that shot from behind half court. I can't believe that. If that had counted, that would have been insane, but it did not count. But, man, what a game. Austin Williams, thanks for being here, Austin. Whether you like him or not, LeBron is that guy clutch. I mean, you are 100% right, Austin. You can't get any more clutch than that shot right there. You're down by 2. You're taking the ball off the dribble through some contact, and you lay it in off the glass over Xavier Tillman, who is not a small player by any means. That was a fantastic play by LeBron James. Unbelievable. Like you said, whether you like LeBron or not, he is a fantastic basketball player. There is not much else you can say about LeBron for sure. For his on-the-court production, he is fantastic. But I really appreciate everyone for being here. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. But thanks for being here, guys. We have a fantastic game, and it's not done yet. We have overtime. 104 to 104. and we have overtime on this fantastic game. We thought the game earlier was great between Miami and Milwaukee. You had Jimmy Buckets with 56 points to lead Miami to a victory, and they're up 3-1 in that series. But now we've got the late game. The Memphis Grizzlies, the Los Angeles Lakers going to overtime. Insane. This is an incredible game, and I'm looking forward to this overtime. How can this game get any better than this? It's a fantastic game. The Ohio State says if LeBron was 6-4 or 7-3 in the NBA Finals and Cavs facing either team than the Warriors over and over in the finals, people will be saying LeBron's the greatest of all time. Well, I mean, the toughest thing is when you're going off the finals records, or the playoff records. LeBron's a fantastic player. Michael Jordan was a fantastic player. Sometimes you just look at all of these players and say they're great players. It doesn't even matter who's the greatest. All of these players are fantastic, but like you said, you can make an argument for sure that LeBron James is the best. I mean, he's that good. But there are so many great players for sure. Go Tigers says, so I just Googled his clutch stats to tie or take the lead in the fourth quarter under 2 minutes. LeBron James only made 19 107 shots in clutch situations during his career, 17.8% field percentage, 12.5% from three. LeBron James struggled throughout his career to make clutch shots during regular. The Ohio State said people criticize LeBron way too much because of his 4-6 final record, which is ridiculous. I mean, to Edwards' point, LeBron still, he's saying that his clutch shooting percentage isn't that great. But regardless, that was a clutch shot. That was a fantastic shot by LeBron James. And we've got a great game. Ja Morant loses the basketball, though. The Lakers, wow, what a play. The Lakers had the basketball. They turned it over. Morant loses the basketball, and then Anthony Davis lays it in. Unbelievable there as well. 106-104. Morant had the ball, but he lost it. He had that shot there. He had the ball, but he loses it and gives it right back to the Lakers, and Anthony Davis lays it in. 106-104. Desmond Bain on the other end, he misses. The tide could be turning here. The Memphis Grizzlies had their chance, but they let LeBron James score that clutch shot. And now the Lakers are up 2 with the ball. 4 to go in overtime. LeBron James on the prowl again with Jaren Jackson on him. 5 seconds on the shot clock. LeBron in the lane. To the rim again, and he lays it in again. 108-104. Memphis is down by 4. LeBron is now up to 20 points and 18 rebounds. He's having a fantastic game, especially on the glass. Desmond Bain down the floor, and he loses the basketball. Memphis is starting to crumble a little bit. LeBron with the ball. 3:20 to go in overtime. Now it's over to Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder drives into the lane. He loses out of bounds, so it's Memphis ball. They catch a break there. Go Tigers. The season game as per stats playing 20 in the NBA is no small feat, for sure. The Ohio State's LeBron 8% for stats to tie or take the lead for game within the last minute is pretty good. The Ohio State says you should go watch the video on Nick Rice's podcast. Got some really good stats for basketball ever clutch percentage being down 3 or taking the lead within the final minute of the game. Yeah, I bet it's really interesting for sure. Thanks for pointing that out. And Ja Morant down the floor, lays it in, not wanting Memphis to not have a chance. He's wanting to keep his Grizzlies in the game. Morant with 19 points, LeBron with 20. 2:50 to go in overtime. Schroeder with the basketball. Lakers up by 2. LeBron thought about the 3, fakes the 3, kicks to Anthony Davis down low. And Anthony Davis, they do call a foul on Memphis. Jackson, why am I getting the feeling the Lakers could shock the world and win the finals? I don't know. You could be right with your gut feeling right now. The Lakers are playing some great basketball, and they're peaking at the right time. There are so many great teams, though. It'll be tough for them to beat a Celtics or a 76 or even a healthy Bucks if somehow Giannis can lead the Bucks back in that series. When they're healthy, they're pretty solid. But the Celtics are a deep team. It will be interesting for sure, but you never know. I think the fact that the Lakers are playing so well could suggest that they could have a chance if they win this series. And they're up 2-1. They could go up 3-1 here. Anthony Davis's first free throw is no good. That's a big miss because that could have put the Lakers up by 2 possessions if he had a hit both free throws, but he does miss the first. Still has another free throw to potentially put them up 3. Go Tigers. I just Googled it. What's percentage of the fourth quarter under 2 minutes. So, definitely a debate about LeBron's clutch shooting. Still a great player regardless. Anthony Davis, he hits the second free throw, 109 to 106. So Memphis is down 3, and they need a bucket. 2:30 to go in overtime. Ja Morant drives into the lane, goes up strong. His layup is just off the mark. Under 2:30 to go in overtime. LeBron James kicks to Austin Reeves. Back to LeBron. This could be where the Lakers put the Memphis Grizzlies away, unless Memphis can hang in there. 2:10 to go in overtime. LeBron back to Schroeder. Schroeder drives, kicks to Anthony Davis in the corner. He misses. He misses a wide open 3. Now you've got the Grizzlies in transition. Ja Morant in the corner. He fakes the 3. Back to Desmond Bane. Bane misses the shot. It was too strong. And Rui Hachimura with the rebound. 1:50 to go in overtime. And there is a timeout by the Los Angeles Lakers. 109-106. Lakers up by 3. Go Tiger says, I want the Suns in the finals. He says, I want Jaylen Brown to beat KD because all the fans wanted to trade him for KD. Yeah, Jaylen Brown does not need to be traded for anybody. Neither Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. They need to keep both those guys together, and whoever's not playing well for the Celtics, you can interchange those players for other players. But as of now, you've got to keep Tatum and Brown for the foreseeable future. They're both young players. They're both great players. You can't get rid of either player. That would be insane. I did not agree with the Jaylen Brown trade talks for sure. They need to keep him. He is a fantastic player. I mean, earlier in his career, he wasn't the best off the dribble, but he's gotten even better at that as well. He's a guy that has so much talent, and it would be insane to get rid of him. Nothing against Kevin Durant, but he's an older player, and he's also been hurt a lot. I think you got to keep Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They're the best duo in the NBA, like Edward said, and they're the youngest duo in the NBA. They are great, and they're still really young. You got to keep them together. And if the Celtics strike their cards right, they could win several, championships with the two over the years if they can, have a great team year in and year out. There's a lot of competition in the NBA today, but I think they could get it done. Last overtime playoff game for the Lakers was in the 2009 NBA Finals, Game 4 versus Orlando, and they won 99-91. That's a long time ago for the Lakers to have an overtime playoff series, back when Kobe Bryant was still in his prime. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. But the Los Angeles Lakers up by 3, 109-106. 1:53 to go in overtime. Can Memphis come back, or will the Lakers win? LeBron has 20 points, 19 boards, and 7 assists, almost a triple-double. LeBron with 5 seconds on the shot clock. 1:40 to go in overtime. Being guarded by Jaren Jackson. He takes the step-back 3. His 3 is short, but he gets the rebound, and he kicks the ball off of Desmond Bane. So it will be Lakers basketball still. What a play by LeBron. First Laker with 20 points and 20 rebounds in playoffs since Shaquille O'Neal in 2004, back when you had Kobe to Shaq. 20 points and 20 rebounds for LeBron at the age of 38. Incredible. Dennis Schroeder drives into the lane, and it's a turnover. Memphis on the other end. Dillon Brooks down the lane, and Dillon Brooks dunks it home. 109-108. 1:22 to go in overtime. The Ohio State's LeBron James, 21-44 and 4-9 from 3 all the time for all shots in the final 1-minute playoff games. Entire take the lead. That's fairly solid. Go Tigers. Said Jason's 25. Jaylen is 26. Really young, huge window to win multiple championships. I agree. You got to keep them both. They could definitely do a lot of damage in the playoffs for the Celtics and maybe win some championships. But Anthony Davis, he taps home a miss for the Lakers. He's got 12 points, 5 in this quarter, and it's 111-108. Desmond Bane, he thought about the 3. Ja Morant with 50 seconds left in overtime. Morant, he's driving into the lane, takes the mid-range 2. His shot is off the mark, and the Grizzlies do not end up with the ball. Austin Reeves, he ends up with it, kicks to LeBron. 35 seconds left. LeBron James has the ball being guarded by Dillon Brooks. The Grizzlies are in trouble. LeBron in the lane. LeBron, he lays it in off the glass. 113-108. 29 seconds left in overtime. And 1. He was fouled as well. And that might just do it for the Memphis Grizzlies. LeBron James putting Memphis away. He tied the game to go to overtime, and now he just had a big and 1 there. The Ohio State says LeBron has the highest field goal percentage in that category for sure. I mean, he's a clutch player. The Ohio State said, well, LeBron was just really clutch on that and one. He's got 22 points, 20 boards, 7 assists, 2 blocks, and his free throw, he does miss the free throw. And there is a timeout for the Memphis Grizzlies. But Memphis is going to have to score, and they're going to have to score quick if they want to still have a chance. They are running out of time. But what clutch shooting by LeBron James. Some ridiculous shots he hit down the stretch of this game. 113 to 108, 28.7 seconds left in overtime. This has been an unbelievable game, an unbelievable performance from several players from both sides. But it does look like the Memphis Grizzlies could fall short, and if they do, they'll be down 3-1 in this series, and it'll be extremely difficult for them to be able to come back and win this series. The Ohio State says, if Lakers win the series, do you think the Lakers will beat the winner of Kings versus Warriors in round 2? The way they're playing right now, I'd say they have a really good chance. I mean, the Warriors, they can burn you with the three-point shooting. Curry and Clay, I mean, it's still a tough duo. I think that they could still beat the Lakers, but the way the Lakers are playing right now, I could see it. And the fact that I could see it is a great sign for Lakers fans. They are playing some great basketball. This is a far cry from the Lakers team we saw earlier in the regular season when they were really struggling. They are playing some great basketball. LeBron James is on fire. Anthony Davis isn't even having his best game, and they're still playing great basketball. D'Angelo Russell with some big shots before he fouled out of the game. Jackson Johnson says it's over for them, not a matter of if but when. Yeah, if they don't win this game, which is increasingly looking like they're not going to, they're in a lot of trouble. 29 seconds left. Jaren Jackson on the left wing, being guarded by LeBron James. Kicks over to Xavier Tillman into John Morant in the corner. Morant's three is off the mark, and it's off of the Memphis Grizzlies. 17 seconds left, and now it's Lakers basketball. It looks like the Grizzlies are about out of time. What a game by the Lakers. Schroeder with the ball, 13 seconds left, and they do call a foul on Memphis. Go Tigers. The basketball is a game of momentum, and when Ja was out for 2 games, it allowed the Lakers to get the momentum. That's a good point. Just like the Heat with Giannis being out. Giannis being out, you could say, gave momentum to the Miami Heat. I agree with you. The Ohio State and Memphis needs one more piece of Morant to change his style of play for them to be a legit title contender. I agree with you. Morant, he cannot keep up the style of play. If he does, he will be out of the league by 30. There's no way he can continue it. The Ohio State's issue is Ja's out for a lot of games, gets injured frequently, 100%. And his injuries are eventually going to make his, effort, not his effort level. His effort level is fantastic, but it's going to decrease his ability. He's going to start to lose his ability to play at a high level because he's going to get hurt too many times. And when you get hurt too many times, your play diminishes. You start playing worse. So it's going to be really interesting. John Morant needs to stay healthy. But Schroeder, he hits the first free throw. It's 114-108. And he hits the second free throw as well. Now it's a 3-possession game. 13 seconds left, and Memphis is more than likely done. 115-108. But I agree with you. Ja is hurt a lot. In Memphis, they do need another piece or two. Just more depth and talent around. They got a good team, though. They're really close. They're a great team, but it looks like they're going to fall short in this series potentially. They're going to be down 3-1. It's going to be extremely hard for them to win the last 3 games. 115-108. And the Los Angeles Lakers are up by 7 points with 13 seconds left. Memphis, they played a fantastic game, a great effort, but it looks like they are going to fall short because of the fact LeBron James with the dagger in regulation to be able to tie the game, send it to overtime. And when you give the Lakers a chance, that really hurt the Memphis Grizzlies because they should have won the game in regulation. They were up 2 with 6 seconds left, but you gave the Lakers a shot, and the Lakers made you pay in overtime. And now the Lakers are up by 7 points over Memphis. Last time the Lakers were in overtime, they beat Orlando Magic in 2009, so they're clutching overtime in the playoffs. 115-108. Does Memphis have anything left in them? I'm not sure. It's going to be very difficult for them to have any chance. But if they're going to do anything, they need to hit a big shot right here. 13.1 seconds left in overtime. Memphis is down by 7. John Morant, he has done everything he possibly has been able to do for the Memphis Grizzlies, but it looks like it's going to be in a losing effort. It does not look like there's going to be enough time for the Grizzlies. John Morant will be the inbounder being guarded by Rui Hachimura. Morant trying to get the ball in bounds. Finally does to Jaren Jackson. 12 seconds left. He loses the ball. Precious seconds are ticking off. 8 seconds. Dylan Brooks misses a 3. 5 seconds. There's not enough time. Luke Kennard in the corner. Kennard hits the 3, but there's only 2 seconds left. Reeves in the corner. Is there a foul? I think they do call a foul, but there's only 0.3 seconds left. That foul wasn't even needed. Go Tigers. Says John's one of the best players because his style and changing wouldn't benefit him. They just need more. It's just him and Bain, JJ, and Brooks are defense better. They need more shooters. I agree with that, but it's not about his play style. It's the airborne stuff. John Morant cannot continue to take flight in the air and fall on his wrist and just break his wrist. He just can't do that. He has to settle that part down just a bit. Stop going airborne. I do agree with you. I don't think he needs to stop being aggressive, but he just cannot continue to fall from the heights that he falls from because it's really going to hurt his wrist. Reeves hits both free throws. It's 117-111, and that is your final score. What a win for the Lakers. The Ohio State said we could have the 1 seed in the East and 2 seed in the West go out in the first round. For sure, the Bucks could go down. The Grizzlies could go down. It's insane. The Ohio State said if Ja doesn't change his style of game, go Tigers, he's going to end up like Derrick Rose. Yeah, I agree. His Carroll's everyone plays need to cut down. 100%. I completely agree with you. The Ohio State. I agree with you as well, Edward. You're both correct, but you just cannot have overall the airborne plays where he gets hurt. He needs to continue to be aggressive, but be able to do it smartly where he does not abuse his body. That would be smart for John Morant. Nana says, sorry the Grizzlies cannot pull the game out, but you did a great job tonight. Thank you. 100%. I really appreciate you for being here tonight, Nana. It means so much. It was awesome. The game was fantastic tonight. The Memphis Grizzlies are now down 3-1 in the series, and it's not looking good for their chances to be able to advance in these playoffs because they're now down 3-1, and it is very difficult to be able to continue to be in the playoffs when you're down 3-1. It's just not looking good overall in that regard. But teams have come back from 3-1 before. Maybe the Memphis Grizzlies can do it as well. It'll be very interesting for sure. Maybe they can get it done, but it is not looking good overall for the Memphis Grizzlies now being down 3-1, and they're still going to have another game at LA. It looks like they might fall short in the series, but they need to keep playing hard, and maybe if they can win the next 3 games, they can still pull this series out. But it's not looking good. But I really appreciate you for being here tonight, Nan. It meant a lot. Thank you so much. It was a fantastic game. It stinks Memphis lost, but it still was a fun game nonetheless. Go Tiger says, wrong. Derrick Rose had multiple major knee injuries. That's true. Again, both of you guys are right. I'm not going to debate either of you guys on this issue because you're both fantastic. Edward, you're right, and the Ohio State. It's just the fact of the style of play Ja has. He needs to be careful and not hurt his body. The Ohio State says Rose careless drive cost him a many injury. Moran has had many injuries early in his career because of careless drives. Where you get injured doesn't matter. Go Tigers said D-Wade and other players are about to play that way and be successful. Derrick Rose just had multiple freak knee injuries. Again, I agree with both of you. Sometimes it's freak injuries. Victor Oladipo drove in the lane the other night and he hurt his knee. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate Victor Oladipo got hurt, but he's got bad knees. He's been hurt several times. And I agree that Derrick Rose, it could be freak injuries. Like I said, I'm not debating either of y'all because you guys are both correct. You guys are 100% correct on this issue with Edward and V Ohio State. You guys are both right. You just, unfortunately, though, still have to moderate your style of play to the point where you can't hurt yourself. Like, it's different if it's a freak injury, but John Morant's injuries are not freak accidents. He's diving into the air and falling and messing up his wrist and messing up his body. That's different. Derrick Rose getting hurt, that's because he drove in the lane, hurt his knees. Unfortunate. But when you got John Morant going airborne and getting hurt, that's completely different. The Ohio State just matters that you're injured. Like I said, you guys are both right, but more importantly, I appreciate both you guys for being here tonight. You guys, your argument is both really valid, and it makes a lot of sense. Both of you, really appreciate you for being here. 100%. Jackson, thanks for being here. This is good night, everyone. Thanks for being here as well. The Ohio State says, great stream as always. Take care. I appreciate it, The Ohio State. Thanks so much for being here. And you too, Edward. The knee injuries took D Rose's leaping ability, and that cost him his style of play. Definitely, for sure, it's really unfortunate. Injuries are a part of the game, but I really appreciate both you guys for being here. All you guys that were here tonight, really appreciate it. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. But I really appreciate all you guys for being here. More importantly, it was a fantastic game. The NBA playoffs are keep trucking along. The Memphis Grizzlies had the game they were up to with 6 seconds left, but the Los Angeles Lakers, with LeBron James, scored at the end, took it overtime, and they took the game away from Memphis and won in overtime. What a win for the Lakers. They're now 3-1 in the series. But I really appreciate all you guys for being here tonight. It was a lot of fun. Cannot wait to be back soon. Really appreciate it. But what a win for the Lakers. The 2023 NBA playoffs continue to roll on. There should be a lot of fun. Cannot wait to be back for some more games. Really appreciate you guys for being here. It was a lot of fun. But what a win for the Lakers. The NBA playoffs have been awesome. And I cannot wait to continue to see more games. It's been a lot of fun for sure. Thanks for being here, everybody.